first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton and Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
All right, Jay Johnson. Cut the music, damn it, Jay. Cut the music, man. We are back from a Father's Day weekend, and Artie, my man, disrespected me. Let me treat you like Suge Knight, man, in the booth or anything like that. Drapes and Jay here with you for the next 4 hours on the Drive, guys. Sacktown Sports 1140. How you doing, Jay? You good, man?
I'm beautiful, man. It's a beautiful day, brother. We should be outside somewhere.
I know. I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling. I spent the weekend in Tahoe. Me and the kids got
catching the sun and fun. Bro.
Yes, lakeside spot, man. Celebrating Father's Day.
Look at you, man.
But you know how it is, man. When you hang with the kids, and I love my kids to death. And I want people to chime in on all throughout the day on your Father's Day, what you guys did, 916-339-1140. I want to hear what everybody did this past weekend. But, Jay, it's never relaxing with the Draper kids. We never just snuggled up watching a movie.
Well, first of all, you don't watch movies.
I don't watch.
So let's check that one off.
I don't watch movies. You're right about that. We don't, go for a nice walk around the block or anything. It's always got to be high energy. Always got to be something going on. So this is what we did this weekend. Took the kids to Tahoe. We went there on Friday, came back last night. And I had this brilliant idea because kids like to play card games, like to go to arcade, mini golf. I said, we're going to do the Draper Olympics.
What?
Yes. We're going to keep score from every event, every game of Uno, every game of Skippo, every mini golf, axe throwing. And so we did activities, bowling.
Okay.
We did everything.
Okay.
3-day Draper Olympiad.
South or North Lake?
Both.
Oh,
dude.
Jumping around. I was jumping around the lake, huh?
We started out at Kings Beach.
Okay.
Did some mini golf there.
Yep.
I stayed over in Tahoe City.
Okay.
Did some things there. Then I went up to Incline, Nevada.
I have no clue where that's at.
Exactly. That's north. That's up there.
Okay. Yeah.
Did some bowling and everything. Then finished up at South Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
So we were all
circle.
Yeah, we were like, like a crescent moon, if you will.
Okay.
But we did 3 days of the Draper Olympics. We also went fishing too.
Ooh,
yeah, man. I know we did everything. But, so with my kids, you throw in a little competitiveness, if you will. That's all they want to do. What's the next game, Dad? When we playing Uno? When we playing Crazy Eights? Let's play darts. And it's like,
you started it, man.
I did, but I'm the fun dad, so that's what I do. You know what I mean? We're not just chilling, we're not just relaxing. We making memories out there. And so we had 3 days of Olympics. Started out with mini golf on Friday, then went to Crazy Eights on the phone, then went to Uno in person, sitting down in the cabin, then went to Skippo as well. And so I was feeling pretty good about myself. After the first day, I was in the lead, the Draper Olympics. I'm doing good.
Oh, boy.
Doing good. Saturday came. More Uno, more Skippo, bowling, and I smacked him up. Well, actually, my son won the first game of bowling. I don't know if you're a bowler.
Nah.
Dude, I was off, man.
I get out there and throw about $120
right
on a good day.
Dude, that would have won our that would have won our
last
Olympics.
time I bowled, I threw like a 107,
Really?
115.
Oh,
I
man.
throw like a 125, 130.
Okay.
I got lucky.
Was that your high, your all-time high?
It's got to be like 130, 140-ish, something in there.
My all-time high was 188.
Oh, you was dealing, my brother.
Dude, I was like 20 years old.
Oh,
it was like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
about 10 years ago. But when I used to kind of go a little bit, I just threw it super hard.
Right.
I barely
got no English or anything like that?
I just throw it hard and hope for the best.
Right. So let me get, Nick. You know my son. You know how big my son is.
Yes, sir.
So we bowling. This is Saturday night. We're bowling. Remember, this the Draper Olympics. He's like, Dad, I'm going to use the bumpers. This little side.
That's a foul.
I'm like, dude, come on. You can't be doing that. I said, all right, the first game. And then he beat me the first game.
With the bumpers?
With the bumpers. I'm like, nah, bro, you can't be doing that. Your sister, 13, okay, she can have the bumpers. So then the second game, we took the bumpers away and I smacked him up. You know what I mean? I handled my business. But so I was feeling good. Once again, second night, Dad's in the lead. Feeling great. The Draper Olympics. I'll tell you what the prizes are coming up in just a minute.
I like it.
The third day started off with, what do we do in the morning? Sand volleyball, because they got a volleyball spot. So my son beat me and my daughter. He beat that one. Then we did fishing. No points on that because we didn't catch anything.
Okay.
By that time,
Got you.
And then we did axe throwing.
Okay.
You an axe thrower?
I've done it a few times.
It's hard. Dude.
It is a little hard. It is a hard.
And Nick, ever since Friday, wait till we get the axe throwing, Dad. Wait, this is his thing, right? Wait till we get the axe throwing. So axe throwing comes, and my axe is like just bumping all over the thing.
It's not sticking.
It's not sticking. It's like a fish out there. It's flopping around and everything. So he beat us in axe throwing.
Really?
Yes.
Did he have bumpers?
Right. No, he's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Like every time he throws, it sticks.
I'm pretty good at axe throwing.
Are you really?
Yeah, man. I went with a bunch of friends one time. I went with the wife one time and my daughter because they wanted to try it. Then I went. I think we did it twice as a family.
Okay.
And one time my friends. I smacked all my partners.
Okay.
My daughter's actually decent at it. For whatever reason, she can throw and make it stick. But I'm actually decent with it.
And it's some, so you can't just chuck it up there.
No way.
Yeah, you actually got to
have a little fundamental to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to have some skill with that thing.
Definitely.
So he beat us in axe throwing. So he has a little lead going into the final activity, mini golf.
Ooh.
Now, mind you, Monday or Friday, I beat him handily in mini golf. So we playing 18. This is in South Lake Tahoe at the little mini golf magic carpet ride.
The inside one or the outside
one. Yeah. And so he actually beat me in mini golf. I finished second. I know, Jack. So you know me, I don't lose, just quietly. I said, nah, but we got to play Crazy Eight still on our phone. That was part of it.
Okay.
I said, first one to 10. Each time you win, you get a point. First one to 10. Damn, little baby, my girl was the first one to 10. So she got the points. I know. So
you took the L over the weekend on Father's Day.
I did come in second place. I did. It was 42-40 to 36. That was the score.
Cold blood.
They
didn't even let you win on your day.
I thought I should at least get an extra 5 points just for it being Father's Day.
Of course.
Nope. But you got to hear what the prize was. This is why they were going so hard. It's almost like trying to win an NBA Finals or a Rio Olympic medal. I told them prizes for first, second, and third. First place prize, $20. But I'll tell you to a store. I'll tell you what store coming up in a minute. $20 for first place.
Okay.
$10 for second. Yeah. $5 for third.
Okay.
It was to the candy store at Doco.
It's sugar.
It's sugar.
Oh, yeah.
I said $20 to the It's Sugar, $10. And once I said that, bro, it was game on. They were locked in, bro. They were locked in.
Oh, that's what we talking about?
That's what we talking about.
You should have said Barnes and Noble.
Right, that's what, right. If I would have said Barnes and Noble, whatever, Dad. You got it. But I told him to the candy store, bro, it was on, man. And Nick, it got so bad. We're playing Crazy 8 last night. And usually we talking and everything. Nick was quiet the whole time. The dude was locked in, bro. He didn't have no conversations. He wasn't laughing or joking. He was trying to kick our butts just to get some damn candy.
I like that. To me, that lets me know, he can lock in. So when it's time for him to lock in, when you're like, hey, Nick, I need you to lock in on those studies this week. Or
that's true.
Lock in on the golf squad this week or, for the tournament, if he really wants to do something, he can lock in.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to be like, yo, lock in like you did for that candy.
That's
you know what I mean? Golf course, whatever it is, lock in, right? All right, so that was my weekend, man. How about you? Anything fun? You guys do anything fun?
You know what, man? I went out and did umpiring this weekend.
What?
First time ever. Yeah, man. So a bunch of my friends do it. They do it on college level. They do it on high school level.
Okay.
And they do youth sports as well.
Okay.
So they've been trying to get me to come out there. They needed a bunch of people this weekend. And so I had one that took a test run, a couple weeks ago, did a little training. So this weekend was my first jump off at umpiring. I didn't actually have to do no plate umpiring, no plate appearances.
Okay.
I did all bases
for
all the games that I did. And that was just based on the person I was working with. He was like, man, let's knock these out.
Yeah.
And we actually kind of got lucky because we had 3 games that finished short due to blowouts.
What age group was that?
We did 13U
and
14U.
Okay.
Which makes no sense. I guess 13U is 12 and 13. 14 is 13 and 14.
14, depending on what level you at.
Travel ball, I go. But I was actually stunned by the quality of play by some of the youngsters. I've been to a lot of Little League games over the last handful of years, and I'll just say the quality of play isn't the best. But I was surprised that
some talent out there.
There was some guns out there that was getting it done, man.
Okay.
I saw one lefty, and I want to make sure I give him his love. I want to say he was from Vacaville. I think they were the Vacaville Bulldogs, if I'm not mistaken. So if y'all listening, shouts out to y'all. Lefty, man, he had it. I won't say his name because he's a child, but he had everything that he needs to have. Let's put it that way. Oh, yeah.
To go up right to a player?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Absolutely, man.
At that age, are they moving and everything? You throwing some movement out there?
He had a 10-6.
Ooh,
he had a 10-6 already.
10-6.
Oh yeah,
okay.
He didn't have a 20. He didn't have that Z though.
Yeah.
He had a 10-6.
Okay,
but it was beautiful, man. So I was super highly impressed by a lot of them young guns out there. Coaches, everything was smooth, solid day. Shouts out to the young players that's still playing ball. Just some good talent out there. And then Sunday, man, I put my feet up, went to the Pop's house. Had a little fish fry and, did it big, man. Watched a couple movies and enjoyed life.
Watch any golf at all? Or?
Come on, brother.
All right,
I didn't watch golf.
I heard you had my boy Tom Morton on Friday.
Yeah,
Shout out to him.
Shouts out to Tom, the legendary Tom Morton of the Morton family. I didn't give Tom no hard time because, when you're in the thick of it, when you're playing, and I know he wasn't playing, but he's still part of the team, that's something that, is for real.
Yeah,
I wouldn't play with them on the
joking on that
seriousness of what was going on at the U.S. Open, because that is a feat to be there.
Yep.
But yeah, beyond that, no, hell no, I ain't watching no golf. I had to look this morning to see who won.
What?
Yeah,
okay. I'm driving back. I got it on in the car and everything. Kids asleep in the
they
car.
Was bored. I'm about to say they probably was TKO.
They were knocked out. All right, let's get to it, man. We're following two big stories. Tons of stuff happened over the weekend. The Orlando Magic going for broke pretty much, acquiring Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies for 4 first-rounders, a pick swap, Cole Anthony, and KCP. We'll get to that coming up in just a minute. But we got to talk about the San Francisco Giants. Jay, you got to give them some love.
Do I?
You got to. This is a big time move, man. Buster Posey is getting it done, getting my guy Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox for a couple of pitchers, some minor leaguers, and everything. But this is the kind of move when it comes to the Red Sox, and we'll have Sean McAdam of Mass Live coming up in just a second. This is the kind of move Giants fans have been clamoring for. How many times have you seen this organization strike out at free agency? How many times in previous years have you seen Farhan just sit on his hands during the trade deadline? Buster Posey swung for the fences. Here's the full deal. Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, outfield prospect James Tibb, and rookie league right-hander Jose Bello going to Boston. Coming back, you got Rafael Devers. That's right. This guy's a 3-time All-Star. Sure, he makes a lot of money, has more than $250 million left on his contract, but this is a big bat. This is a kind of slugger, a kind of hitter that the Giants have been clamoring for, Jay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good move for them, man.
I think so, too. As much as I hate to, give them a pat on the back, one thing I have to do, Drapes, and you said it, it starts with Buster Posey versus Farhan. Compared to the last few years, Posey has come in. He's seeing the game completely different. He's seeing it from a player standpoint. He's being aggressive, also being patient. He's also trusting his eyes. He's taking the talent, the people that he sees and who he thinks can play ball. And Devers is a ball player.
Yes.
If Devers is locked in, speaking of Nick Draper, if Devers is locked in, which even for the Red Sox, accordingly, he wasn't locked in. He was still putting up decent numbers. I believe he's second in the league in RBIs or something of that nature. First in the league in RBIs, something for the AL. I have to triple check. But
he's at 58 right
58.
now.
I thought it was second, if I'm not mistaken. But if he's locked in, the Giants have something and they're cooking with grease. They definitely are.
I'm 100% in agreement with you guys. And, somebody did all his hits throughout the season and overlaid them on where it would be in San Francisco at Oracle Park. And needless to say, McCovey Cove, I'm telling you, it's going to be a field day for Rafael Devers. Coming up in just a minute, Jay's on the phone right now. We're going to get Sean McAdam from Mass Live. He's covered the Red Sox for years. He knows baseball. I used to work with him out in Boston. This guy knows baseball like the back of his hand. And he's going to join us and talk about exactly what went wrong in Boston and what kind of player are the Giants getting in Rafael Devers. One thing we know about Devers, in Boston, he was upset because they wanted him to play third. He said, I ain't playing that place. He said, excuse me, you want to play him first. He in San Francisco, he's a third baseman, but you already got one. But reportedly, he said, you know what? I'm good playing wherever you want me to play. And so we got Sean McAdam. Let's get Sean McAdam on the phone right now. Sean McAdam joining us from Mass Live. Sean, Kyle Draper, my good friend. Sean and I used to work together at NBC Sports Boston. How are you today, Sean?
I'm good, Kyle. Good to catch up with you.
Yeah, it's great to catch up with you. Sean, first of all, tell me exactly what went wrong in Boston for Devers, because the guy was putting up numbers. The Sox were coming off a great series against the Yankees. They're in the mix, and now they decide to trade him. Why?
Well, I think it had just turned dysfunctional here, Kyle, to put it in the simplest way possible. This dates back to last winter and then into spring training when Devers felt like the Red Sox were not being truthful with him. He approached them and said, what's going on with Bregman and Nolan Arenado? Why do I keep hearing these rumors of you guys going out and getting another third baseman? And he was told, no, that's just media speculation. Don't pay any attention to it. And within a couple of days of the start of spring training, Alex Bregman agrees to a 3-year, $120 million deal. And it's obvious from that day forward that Rafael Devers' time at third base had come to an end. So he felt like they had not communicated or been forthright with him. He was upset about being taken off third base, the position he had played, and the position he says they promised him he would play for the duration of his deal when he signed his 10-year extension a couple of years ago. And it just snowballed from there, Kyle. Then they lose Tristan Casas. They went to him and asked him about trying to work out at first base. He blew that off immediately, mocked the Red Sox for kind of having the temerity to ask him to change to another position when they took him off the one he had originally played. And John Henry flew to Kansas City to try to see if he can get him to change his mind. That didn't work. And I think from there, that day, the die was cast, and they started entertaining the idea of moving him. I think they were also of the mind that it was not the best look for many of their top-rated rookies. They have 2 of the top 10 prospects in baseball on their major league roster in Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer. They thought the notion of these guys seeing a veteran, the highest paid guy on the team, the longest tenured player on the team, essentially refused to do what the team was needing him or asking him to do, was not a good look, was not good for the culture into which these guys are growing. And the decision got made to move on from him.
Sean, one of the things that I think, and me and Kyle just had this conversation, is Rafael Devers, was he locked in Boston, knowing everything that you just laid out that he was kind of fibbed to early on in the season? Had he been locked in, or did you feel like maybe, he wasn't always locked in every single day?
No, I mean, his production numbers, Jay, were excellent. He was among the league leaders in RBIs, doubles, walks, OPS. He had a horrendous start, as you guys probably know, 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts, and people are like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? And there was speculation immediately that he was not going to be one of those guys who could adapt to the DH role. Some guys can't. David Ortiz has admitted as much, that there are some guys for whom that doesn't work. Thinking about your at-bats, sitting around and ruminating over what you did in your last plate appearance. Some guys never make the mental adjustment, but Devers did. And after the first week of the season, he's been, as he's been for much of the last 5 or 6 years, one of the best run producers in the game. The problem was when the Red Sox asked him to do more than that.
Sean McAdam of Mass Live joining us. Hey, Sean, what kind of player are the Giants getting in Devers, and how do you see him fitting in? We got Chapman already at third base. Reportedly, he said he's willing to play wherever. Seems like a little bit of a 180 from his time in Boston. What kind of guy and player are they getting here in San Francisco?
Yeah, you're getting a guy who posts all the time. He takes great pride in being on the field and in the lineup as much as he can. He is, when he plays defensively, when he's in the field, he's a somewhat limited defender. He's certainly I would say, a below average third baseman. Doesn't mean he can't make routine plays. He played there a lot, but the defensive metrics and all the other traditional measurements are not going to be great. He's going to make errors, and when he makes them, they're going to come in bunches. And I don't mean like 10 in a week, but he'll make 2 or 3 over the course of 5 or 6 games, get into a little bit of a fielding slump, and then go another 3.5 weeks without making an error. So he can be streaky in the field, but he is a terrific big-time performer. He did very well against the Yankees. He had 32 career homers against New York. He lit up Garrett Cole like he was a batting practice pitcher with one another in the postseason, although it's been a long 4 years since the Red Sox had been there. He has a history of performing well on the big stage in October, and he's an elite run producer, which is why he's being paid $31 million a year.
Sean, you talking about his deficiencies, meaning Rafael Devers' deficiencies at third base. As Kyle laid out, we got Matt Chapman out this way. Is Devers' future at first base, or do you think he will transition into just being a hitter sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Giants have in mind. Obviously, Chapman has been extended, and he is a multi-Gold Glove winner there, and you're not about to play Rafael Devers over him there. So while he can fill in there, and I'm sure he'd be willing to do that because this is a reset and a fresh start for him, I would imagine that you'll see him DH some and perhaps in time work out at first to the point where he feels comfortable playing there at least occasionally. That would give him more value to the team to be able to, play a game or two at first base a week if that's necessary, or if they want to make it more of a full-time proposition. I think he'll be motivated to try what he wouldn't do here. He felt betrayed here and wasn't about to extend himself, but this is his new team now. They pursued him. They wanted him. They were willing to take every dollar on the contract to acquire him. So I think from an attitude standpoint, you're getting a different Rafael Devers than the one we've seen here the last 3 or 4 months.
Sean McAdam joining us. Sean, I was just about to ask you about, him in the clubhouse, effort and everything like that. You kind of answered that. How is this playing out there in Boston? Because we've seen, the Red Sox over the years trade away some big name players, most notably Mookie Betts a few years ago. How's this playing out there?
I'd say it's running about 95-5 against. Kyle, I'm sure there are corners of Red Sox Nation that are okay with this. I know that some people did not like his willingness or his unwillingness to help out at first or try to do what the team needed from him. I think that tends to be maybe older fans who are a little more old school, that you do what the team asks, you do what your teammates need you to do. But overwhelmingly a negative response to this trade. A, that they did it at all and moved on from him. And B, I think a lot of people think they didn't get anything close to return in terms of the value of the 4 guys coming over from the Giants. I know that Harrison is highly thought of and has been a well-regarded young lefty starter who hasn't really figured it out at the big leagues. He can still do that. He's still 24 and young. You've got Hicks, who throws triple digits and has had some success in the bullpen. The prospects, you got a former first-round pick in Tibbs, but people want, if they were going to do this, I think people wanted to take a look at the package they got in return and find at least one of the 4 who you say, okay, that's a foundational guy. He's going to be part of this team for a long time and an important piece. And while that may be Harrison in time, or it may be Tibbs in a few years, there's nobody that you can bank on right now. And that has people, as I said, feeling doubly burned. A, that they made the trade and got rid of him in the first place, and B, that they didn't get enough return on the dollar.
Sean McAdam of MassLive.com. Read Sean's latest work, checking out his story from last night, how Rafael Devers went from face of Red Sox franchise to unsalvageable situation. Shocking trade. Sean, appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on, man.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right. That's Sean McAdam of MassLive.com. Good stuff from him as the Giants enter a new era, the Rafael Devers era. Coming up next, the other big story from the weekend, the big trade, Orlando getting Desmond Bane, what it means for the Sacramento Kings. We got that and more. It's The Drive, guys, here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center for your Monday. Seeing the sunshine and feeling the warmth. Temperatures today peak in the mid to upper 80s. That Delta breeze refreshes and increases overnight tonight. Drops us back to low 50s first thing Tuesday morning. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. And don't forget Dad this Father's Day or that grad in your life. We've got you covered at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Celebrate the baseball legacy of legendary Major League manager Dusty Baker on Friday, June 27th with the Sacramento River Cats. The first 2,500 fans will receive a bobblehead of Sacramento's own Dusty Baker. Enjoy an exciting baseball game and take home a piece of history with your very own Dusty bobblehead. It's a night packed with fun, baseball, and memories on Friday, June 27th, so don't wait. Grab your River Cats baseball tickets today before they're gone, only at rivercats.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Back here on the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports 1140, Drapes and Jay, Kevin Whitey Gleason. He's off this week, Jay.
Woo, in paradise.
He's in Hawaii. I got an issue.
Oh, here we go.
Now,
I already know which one you go.
You know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah, because
like about that text this morning.
Yeah, you know what?
Go ahead,
We
man.
walked out Friday, and you were like, I think you told me high flyer Henry Turner will be jumping on with us.
Yeah,
at the end of the week, Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So get home, watch a couple things, and then our esteemed assistant program director Chris Verlat calls me Friday night. I believe it's like, hey, we're off Thursday, right? Nah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, cool. Just checking to make sure you guys aren't out of the golf course, anything next week, so I can get it lined up. And I said, nah, we'll be in studio for the most part. And I said, oh, we're off Thursday?
Off Thursday.
Again. He's like, yeah. So I knew something was going to twist like a pretzel. I didn't expect that to happen this morning, though.
Well,
shots out.
Let me tell the people exactly.
Man,
and I don't begrudge anybody from taking time off. I do it enough.
You win for hate of the year.
Your last one, sir.
I'm saying I can't say nothing, but I'm gonna say something right now. So my co-host Kevin Whitey Gleason took off vacation this week. Hard worker, well deserved. The dude deserves the time off.
Celebrating his anniversary.
Anniversary at that 40th. Take your time, big fella. Ain't no problem. We got you. You out Monday through Friday? Cool. See you back next Monday when you get here. Okay. All right. So I text the Drive Guys text line. I say, High Flyers co-hosting Wednesday and Friday with me and Jay because we're off Thursday, Juneteenth. Shout out Juneteenth.
Shout out.
We owe it. And I'll tell you what, Whitey ain't never text back this fast in his life. Literally 6 minutes later. Since Thursday is a holiday, I am also off next Monday. Aloha. I'm like, this dude. I like Jay.
Well, he took 5 days off vacation, not knowing
that one was a holiday. So he's like, okay.
I'm gonna recoup that.
Here's my problem. And Jay is always supportive of people taking off.
Oh, please take it all.
He said,
off.
do your thing, man. Hang loose.
That's right.
You know?
Yep.
But I'm going to Vegas this weekend, Jay.
You are.
I'm flying back Monday morning. My flight doesn't land till 12:55.
Oh.
So looks like, hey, I'm gonna need you to help produce the show. You're gonna have to.
Got you.
I need like 8 guests. I need seriously, because I thought Kevin Whitey Gleason was gonna be here. Whitey got it. I'm gonna just roll in. I'll be good to go. He drops that on me. I'm not upset, but it's like
we'll see you at 3:00.
I know, right?
I got you, bro.
Don't let my flight get delayed, bro. I'm saying.
Down.
So, because I thought Whitey was going to be here. So, shout out to him, man. He deserves the time.
You in Vegas this weekend?
Yeah.
He was a high flyer, baby.
You want to know what I'm doing in Vegas?
No, I don't. You don't want to know? I really do not. No, I don't.
All right, move it on.
Keep that to yourself.
You're right here.
Let's just say you're playing golf.
Oh, shit. You're right, Jay. All right, let me shut my mouth. All right. The Orlando Magic. They made news this week and no NBA games, no NBA Finals games. Game 5 later tonight. We'll talk about that coming up in a minute. But the Orlando Magic, this is one we did not see coming. I figured Orlando would do some sort of deal, but I didn't know Desmond Bane was on the market. Here's the full deal. The Orlando Magic, they get Desmond Bane. Solid player, great guy, two-way guy, set to turn 27 in a couple of weeks on June 25th. In exchange for Desmond Bane, the Magic send to Memphis 4 first-round picks, unprotected, a pick swap, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Cole Anthony. So let me get this straight. Desmond Bane is worth 2 rotation players, 4 first-rounders, and a pick swap. What the hell's going on, Jay? What the hell's going on in the world?
I've seen reports, and I think it was Brian Windhorst, and I actually got to text Brian, see if we can get him on this.
Yeah, we got to get him.
That he said KCP around the league is considered one of the, and I believe his exact words were underwater type contracts, one of the worst contracts in the league, seen by many executives. And that they had to attach a first round draft pick
just to take it,
just for people to receive it. I'll make sure I grab that and we'll play it.
Yeah. All right. I'm looking at KCP, 32 years of age, checking out his contract right here. 21 million and change this upcoming season, and a player option the following season at 21 and change. Now, if this is KCP from a few years ago, when he was with the Lakers and he won the title, was in the Defensive Player of the Year race and all that, okay. But the KCP the Orlando Magic got, 8.7 points, 34% from 3, was a shell of himself. So I get moving off that. But 4 first-round picks? And I like Desmond Bane. Solid pick, and people going to overreact to all the picks and everything. Some of those picks going to be late first round. But if Desmond Bane is getting 4 first-round picks, a pick swap, and 2 rotation players, it makes me wonder how that impacts the Sacramento Kings. Here's where I want to go with this right here, Jay. If I'm a Sacramento King, this deal raises eyebrows for a number of reasons. One, Cole Anthony was my dude. That's a guy I think we should have somehow been able to get. He would have fit in perfectly, has that dog attitude, can run the point. He could be our starting point guard. And 2, if I'm correct, Orlando was one of the rumored teams for DeMar DeRozan. So now, if you're Sacramento and you're looking for DeMar, a chance to give him a chance to play for a contender or something like that, and we don't know if that's 100% accurate or not, you got to cross Orlando off the list. And so when I'm looking at it and I see some of the text and people coming in, talking about, well, we got peanuts for De'Aaron Fox from the 916. Smart team. The Grizzlies reset their team with Bane trade. Likewise, the Kings had an even better asset, and they got peanuts for it. It's a sad day to be a King. It's a sad day to be a Kings fan pretty much every day. Just once, it would be nice to be a part of a team that makes a smart decision that resets or reshapes their franchise future. What a historically dumb decision to trade Fox in the middle of the season when you could have gotten better offers now. And that's the issue I have for Sacramento. 1, Cole Anthony. 2, now what you're going to do with DeMar. And 3, why did we have to trade De'Aaron when we did? One of the things when you look at this, every organization is doing what's best for them. Even Phoenix. Kevin Durant got 3 teams he want to play for. Phoenix is saying, we're going to send you to whatever's best for the organization. The Kings sent De'Aaron Fox to his preferred destination, and it looks like got less than what they could have gotten had they waited this offseason. Here's the thing, Jay, about it. I want you to weigh in on this. Just because San Antonio says, nope, we're not giving you that, don't mean all of a sudden, if you're Monty McNair, you got to say, okay, we'll just take whatever you're offering. Play hardball. It don't seem like the Kings played hardball when you see some of these other deals that's getting done out here.
I agree with you. And I said it earlier. I said it at the time. And I believe you'll remember. I said if it was me, speaking from my only opinion, I'm not a general manager, assistant general manager. I'm not a front office guy. If I was Monty McNair, Wes Wilcox at the time, I would have sat down in the chair across from De'Aaron, across from his representation, across from his family, across from him, and across from anybody else that wanted to be involved, that needed to be involved, and said, I don't really care that you don't want to be here. I don't give a damn about trading you right now. Out of all due respect, I will talk to you in the offseason, and we will trade you then. But as of right now, you have 1 or 2 options. Either you play for this team or you sit the hell out, get your surgery, and we'll reconvene in the summer. Remember, I told you that. I said that. If it was me, I would have told De'Aaron and his representation, we're not trading you right now. Because I do think once everything is done in this, and you know this, Drapes, you are my senior, no disrespect, you OG. You lace my tennis shoes at a certain point in time. We all know hindsight 2020 is always better. But when the smoke clears, the emotions come down, we always, more times than not always, but more times than not, it's not the proper word, more times than not, we have a clearer head and we make better decisions. I just thought it was too much at the time.
Like too soon.
Too
like
high. The emotions were too high.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I know we'll talk about this down the road. You look at our new general manager, Scott Perry. his message today if you have an opportunity, and we'll get to that. But patience was key.
Yeah.
I truly thought they should have looked at De'Aaron eye to eye, man to man, and said, right now is not the time. We'll talk to you in the offseason. We'll let you play your way into maybe an all-league position. I know people saying that, Jay, that's crazy. But he would have made more money coming up on his new deal. And or go ahead and take a seat. Get your hand right. And we'll move you in the summer, where now all hands are on deck. We can see what's going on. We got some draft picks. We can work out some people. I said it. I have no clue why they did it.
One of the most criminal things that happened in that De'Aaron Fox trade, I'll tell you what it is coming up after this timeout. It's the Drive Guys here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers. T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Back here at Drapes and Jay, the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports, 1140, continuing the conversation regarding the second big story from this week. And Desmond Bane heading to Orlando for 4 first-round picks, a pick swap, KCP and Cole Anthony. Got us to thinking, and I see some of the chatter out there on the text line and the YouTube, 916-339-1140. From the 916, being a GM is being a negotiator. A good negotiator is a good salesman, someone who can present an ugly situation and make the other party view it as gold. We've never had that in SAC except for Jeff Petrie, who was excellent. That was by RC. From the 209, I wish we had Fox with Scott Perry as GM. Would have been interesting to see how he would have handled it and what he could have got for him. Here's the criminal part about it, Jay, that you made me think of just last segment. The Sacramento Kings traded an all-star caliber point guard, their franchise player, and didn't even get one of the Spurs' first-round picks this year. San Antonio is sitting on a treasure trove of picks. They got 2 and 14 this year. They got young assets. And all we got from San Antonio is 1 first-round pick out of them. CD Sissoko didn't even throw on a jersey.
Nope.
Really.
He did one press conference.
Did he do it once?
Yeah, he did a press, not in the regular press conference room. It was up against the wall.
Oh,
like in the halls,
like in the wall. Yeah.
Then he was on his way.
That's the criminal part. How can Desmond Bane equal 4 first-round picks? I understand. Orlando was desperate. They were high. It was almost like, to Jay's point last segment, the Sacramento Kings and Monty McNair at the time, it's almost like what Nico Harrison did with Luka Doncic. You're only negotiating with one team. You didn't open it up to all 29 other teams, to the highest bidder. You could have done that after the season. To Jay's point, now you see San Antonio with 2 or 14. All right, Spurs, we're going to do this deal, but I got to get one of them draft picks. I got to get one of them picks this year. I don't know why the Kings felt the need to rush to do that. Maybe it was because they thought they still could salvage the season, make the playoffs. They didn't want the distraction. Things were going downhill. De'Aaron might have been checking out, that kind of thing, Jay, which I get. But damn, the season wasn't going anywhere anyway.
Drapes, do you, and again, hindsight 2020. And I know you don't have this answer, and we're spitballing, we're conversating. 916-339-1140 if you want to jump in. Do you think Monty McNair and or Wes Wilcox knew it was over? Meaning they were not a lame duck GM, but the writing was on the wall in the form of not so much the Kings won't retain them, but I'm leaving anyway. Because remember, Wes left
during the season
on his own.
Yeah.
Monty, it was reported that Monty and the Kings came to an agreement. It wasn't, either one wasn't fired. That's the language that was put out.
Right.
Do you think both of them knew this is probably the finale for me, and I'm going to go out with a bang, and I'll do what I need to do? And one of the things I've also talked about with the Sacramento Kings, we don't get to see it as fans as much, and I'm putting myself in a fan situation. But then when I put myself in Jay, the journalist, who can talk to people, who has sources, one thing that we know, and you can talk to this as being a Kings employee, the Kings take care of their players.
Right.
They do a good job of taking care of their players and being respectful of their players and their wishes, and normally try to take care of them in the form of, you don't want to be here, no problem.
Right.
We'll take care of you and go ahead and give you permission, you and your representation, to do the conversation, and we'll try to get you where you want to go, where we know there are teams throughout the league who don't give a damn. We don't care. We're going to do what we want to do, and we'll continue to have that reputation. Do you believe one of those two things might have happened? Meaning not lame duck GM, but the GMs kind of knew, or the Kings wanted to keep that crystal clean reputation and said, well, we'll do it now.
You know, and this is just my opinion. There's no inside info or anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Monty and Wes saw the writing on the wall. You know, once Mike Brown got fired, you know, the team wasn't going anywhere. They made the trade. Like, I do think they thought their jobs might be on the line. And they might not be a part of Sacramento. It's only, I mean, you know, when you work on contract, Jay, you know, and I'm just speaking from a TV standpoint, in the back of your mind, you always know, all right, this may be it. I got a year left on my deal with the Sacramento Kings. In the back of my mind, I'm wondering, am I going to, you know, just have this year? Am I going to re-up? You start thinking about the future, you know, and so I wouldn't be surprised. And I understand that, you know, they had extra years left on their deal, but it's something that always sort of weighs on their mind. But somebody from the 916 brought up an excellent point that you just touched on. The Kings never play hardball. It seems like they are super afraid of the players' agents. I'm looking at what's happening with Phoenix. Kevin Durant, according to our boy Mark Spears, wanted to go to New York. The Knicks said, we don't want you. Kevin Durant reportedly has 3 teams: Miami, Houston, and San Antonio. Phoenix is saying, that's great, but we're going to do what's best for our organization.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I'm glad you got that, but we're going to do. I wonder, did they feel because De'Aaron gave 7.5 years homegrown, they wanted to do him a solid and do right by him? But here's the thing, Jay. You can do both. You can do right by De'Aaron and still get a pretty good package. Like I said, like you said, wait till the offseason. Oh, San Antonio, you got the 2 pick, you got the 14. Give me 14, Devin Vassell, and
that 31 pick,
and that 31 or something,
Yeah.
whatever it is, San Antonio. But when you see Desmond Bane going for 4 or 5 picks, when you see Mikal Bridges, when you see what Kevin Durant's a great player, but he's getting up there in age, it's like, we really only got 2 first-round picks. We didn't even get the damn Charlotte Hornets pick. Remember, that turned into 2
second round.
And so we really didn't even get 3 or 4 first-round picks for De'Aaron Fox. We got Zach LaVine, tremendous players. You know, everybody knows Zach's my guy. But damn, you should be able to get Zach LaVine and 4 first-rounders. San Antonio made out like a bandit. They gave up Zach Collins and a pick, I think, in the deal.
31.
That's it.
Yeah, Drapes, when you really go back and look at it, I truly believe we as fans knew and fans spoke on it. I believe a lot of the media spoke on it and they had second guessed what happened. But I also think because we were in the thick of things, meaning Coach Brown had got fired, you know, there was definitely some strife going on between De'Aaron and the organization. So much movement. First year coach and Doug Christie moving and grooving. Remember, they jumped out the gate, won 8 straight. There was just so much going on that's why I said it at the time. If it's me, I tell De'Aaron today or before the trade deadline is not going to work for me. You know, calmer heads will prevail. And I would have gave De'Aaron, and I think that's what you're saying, when you could have did both. You could have also said, you don't have to play.
Right.
Take the surgery. If you don't want to be a part of what we're doing moving forward, and you don't want to be the scapegoat or you don't want any negativity, take the surgery. Your hand was already messed up. But we're not getting rid of you until I get fair market value. And then the other way to go about it, and I think we had this conversation at the time, was, remember, they allowed Rich Paul and Clutch Sports to go have conversations with the Spurs.
Right.
Then I would have told them, in the same form, meaning Clutch Sports. Hey, if you want De'Aaron as much as De'Aaron wants you, then you need to sweeten the deal. Go negotiate for me. Because if you want your guy to be in San Antonio and nowhere else, then it gotta make sense to me. Now, I understand the argument of De'Aaron wanting out. We always hear about athletes wanting out. It devalues who they are, what you can get on a fair market value. And that's why I said from the jump, and I've said it a year and a half ago, Drapes, if it's me, I'm looking at it in the form of trade deadline, then I said offseason, trade deadline, and then this offseason. Now we're cooking, we're grease.
Yeah.
That was my calendar from the jump. And that's where I would have told De'Aaron, I really don't give a damn what you want. But it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Phone lines are open right now. 916-339-1140. Does this Desmond Bane trade make you feel a certain type of way the Kings handled the De'Aaron Fox trade? We're going to talk about that. Plus, Scott Perry has a message that may be directed at the Kings fan base. I'll tell you about it coming up next here. It's the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the biggest selection, the best prices, and unbeatable customer service. Check them out online, sacksuperstore.com, for the guaranteed lowest price on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Open until 10 o'clock and right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. sacksuperstore.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the latest class of the A's Hall of Fame will be inducted before the A's play the Reds on September 13th. And what a group, including longtime A's broadcaster Monty Moore and the big three, Hudson, Mulder, and Zito. And when those guys pitched together in the A's rotation over a 5-year span, their combined records, 234 and 119. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Zach Geloff, still out with that stress reaction in his ribs, joined the A's on the road in Anaheim last week to continue his rehab progression and is expected to begin a minor league rehab assignment this week. Gio Urshela, out with that left hamstring strain, joined AAA Las Vegas for a rehab assignment last week and is expected to begin playing this week as well. This injury update was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Back there on the Drive, guys. Sacktown Sports 1140. Drapes and Jay holding it down on this day after Father's Day. Kevin Whitey Gleason enjoying this time in Hawaii. You know, Jay, the Drive guys, we're worldwide. You know that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're worldwide out there. That's somebody on the text line, 916-339-1140. Aloha, Drapes, listening to the Drive guys eating lunch in Honolulu.
Man.
Doesn't get any better. That's from Elk Grove Ernie.
Shout out to him. Elk Grove Ernie.
Taking us with him. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube chat as well. You can hit us up, 916-339-1140. I'll get to Scott Perry's message for today and why it may be directed at Kings fans coming up in just a second. But we saw Desmond Bane go for 4 first-rounders, a pick swap, and 2 rotation players. And it makes us wonder, like, and I seen the tweets and the text and everything like that. Damn, how come we couldn't get that for De'Aaron Fox? UPS Chris says, this all comes down to Vivek's fascination with Levine. We could have got fair market value if we weren't chasing him. I do like Levine, but we definitely didn't get enough back for Fox. Here's the thing about, and this is why I disagree a little bit with UPS Chris. We may have a fascination with Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine was on Chicago. We still could have asked San Antonio for a little bit more, right? We could have still said to San Antonio, all right, at least throw in Jeremy Sohan. You know what I mean? Give me Keldon Johnson.
Absolutely.
Like, that would have made it, you get LaVine and a Keldon Johnson, 2 top 5 guys on your team, on your roster. Now we're talking. My issue with the trade isn't that we got Zach LaVine. My issue with the trade is San Antonio didn't give up enough. And now they sitting here with the 2 pick, the 14 pick. They're in the market for KD. They got all the assets in the world. Though we should have bled them dry and got more from them. This ain't about Zach LaVine, ladies and gentlemen. This is about why did we let San Antonio off the hook? And somebody on the text line says, on the YouTube chat, talks about, well, De'Aaron Fox wanted to go there. Why would San Antonio offer more if De'Aaron Fox only wanted to go there? But here's the thing, Jay. And somebody said it on the text line. Ultimately, you may trade him to San Antonio. But damn, at least play hard to get.
If cat and mouse.
Right, a little cat and mouse. Like, nah, we just going to hold on to him to the offseason and see what happens. Maybe San Antonio comes back and ups their offer or something like that. It seemed like from San Antonio, their aspect, we got the bare minimum that they were willing to offer.
Yeah, Drapes, I go back to it and I'll go back and find it. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, Monty McNair at the press conference said that he felt when it was traded and Zach was being introduced that they cultivated a market. I don't know if you remember that. I'll go back and find that. But he said, I felt like we did a good job cultivating the market. which means they put a little something in to get a little bit of out. You know, they were moving and working behind closed doors to try to make the De'Aaron Fox trade prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought it was very interesting at the time. But I think in retrospect, when you look at it, as much as we talked about maybe it wasn't enough at the time, you look at it in the form of two ways. It's done, we move on. But you look at it in the form of, damn, Bane brought this amount of assets. We'll probably see one or two other moves this offseason where we're going to all scratch our head and say, wow, that player brought that many assets to the table. And that is what's provoking. That's what brings up the bad memory, the bad feeling, the bad emotion. Unfortunately, it is done, though.
It is done. But just like the texter said, man, it's like we're watching all these other teams. Somebody from the 707 said, we blow everything. You know, yeah. I mean, this is, you know, he says he's done with the Kings. This franchise will never win one. He says USA Soccer has a better chance of winning the World Cup than the Kings do a championship.
Ooh, that's strong words.
That's going a little too bad. That's going a little far.
Don't Team USA did do decently, right?
They did. Yes, they did. You know, the 916 Drapes, could Sacramento really have negotiated with any other team knowing De'Aaron wasn't going to sign with any other team? Seems to me a team would be hesitant to give up any real assets for a player they are only renting short term. And I hear that, but the problem is De'Aaron Fox isn't a free agent now. He still had a whole nother year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So you're giving it, and somebody wants us to mention Rich Paul and Clutch Sports,
which was already done,
and we'll do it again.
Okay,
is they probably put the word out.
Of course,
you trade for him, he ain't
resigning. Happens all the time, more than people probably realize and understand. That the NBA circle, and I'll even say this, and Drapes, you know this, the celebrity, the industry, the circle is very small. You just came from Lake Tahoe. We might not even be playing in the lake. Like, it's super small. One way or another, it only, you know, people talk about 5 people of separation. I always say in the entertainment industry, and that can be music, movie, sport, whatever you want to call it, social, reality shows, anything, you're probably only 2 people away at this point.
Right.
Because social network has opened up the gates for people to see contact. Because let me tell you one thing about it, and I know you know this. I'm pretty sure you've had conversations with people off the record. But my time with artists, they're some of the most emotional people out there. And I've always said to artists, they fight back people who's like, I really don't like that album. I don't like that song. I don't like what you're putting out right now. And they're artists. There's a reason why they call them artists. They get emotional about their work, but I used to tell artists that I manage all the time, be in the back of locker rooms of stadiums. I mean, people cry and fall out over, and they're like, man, I can't believe people don't like this. There's a reason why there's like 200 different genres of music nowadays. I don't necessarily need to like what you're putting out all the time.
Right.
And that's the same thing when it comes to this. People are talking behind closed doors. We go to the summer league. How many ordeals are probably made there?
Yeah.
I've been at summer league games and sat next to people I never would have thought, and heard conversations I never would have thought out in the open. It happens all the time. I don't know, Drapes. Like I said, it's done is what's done, and it's gonna keep coming up when we see players like Desmond Bane get traded for technically 4 pieces, 4 assets.
That's tough.
It is.
And then how about this, Jay? Sent this to you in the text. This was sent at 12:34 by Sham Sharania. Former Sacramento Kings general manager Monty McNair, the 2022-23 NBA Executive of the Year, is joining the Clippers in an advisor role.
Clip show, huh? Get Clipper Darrell on the line.
Yeah, see what he feels about that. But didn't take long for Monty to land somewhere.
Nah.
You know, and shout out to him. Yeah, I like Monty. I thought Monty did a solid job. And what isn't going to be known unless the 30 for 30 or the tell-all book comes out, whose decision was it to trade Fox at that moment? Because here's the thing. I know I'm getting down hard on Monty, and we're going to get to the phone lines coming up in a minute, 916-339-1140. But was he just being told what to do? Was he a puppet? You know, was he the one getting his marching orders from Vivek? That's tough.
It's tough to know.
And somebody from the 916
tough to know.
Puts it right. I pray that the decision to trade Fox for nothing, well, he wasn't traded for nothing. Put some respect on his ass. Yeah, was Monty and not actually ownership. 916-339-1140. Let's get to the phone lines. Time to check it with our guy, TC. What's up, TC?
Yes, sir. Drapes, man. Look, hey, I wasn't able to holler at you, man. I'm going to say it today. Happy Father's Day again, bro.
Oh, thank you, family. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Off top, man. Check it out. Hey, look. Hey, I was telling Jay before, everybody gonna fan how they gonna fan, right? But first and foremost, we can't cry over spoiled milk Kings fans. I get it. Every time we see a trade, it's always gonna be, oh, we could have got that for Fox. We didn't get it for Fox. Monty was on his way out the door. He made the deal. We got to lay with it, right? And we got to move forward. That's all I'm going to say, King fans. So we can't keep holding over what Desmond Bane brought back, what Triple J going to bring back, what Giannis going to bring back, right? What KD going to bring back. That's not a Fox deal, bro. We didn't get it. We didn't get it, y'all. We got Zach LaVine. That's what we got. That dude's a dude. He was a dude in the league. He was a dude when we had him. He don't mix with us, bro. We gonna have to move on from him. It is what it is, bro. It happens like that in life, Kings fan. So we got to move on, bro. We can't keep talking about on these airwaves about what we didn't get for that dude. As far as paying for a guy to get him in your building, that's what you got to pay for. That wasn't an overpay for Desmond Bane. The Orlando Magic felt like that was a guy that was going to take them over the top and bring him in with Paulo, Suggs, and with the Franz and with the other guys. Desmond Bane is a guy we need. I don't care about these picks. That's why I'm always talking about the picks, Drake. When I call in and say, no, go give a guy 3 first-round picks for that dude, man, just to get the guy in your building, because that's what it's about. Get him here, and we'll worry about the rest later, man. That's all I got. Kings fans, let's quit crying over that De'Aaron Fox trade, bro. That's all I got. I'm out.
Our boy TC, check it. Appreciate you, TC. Here's where I'm going to push back on what TC said. And I get the guy and everything like that. But Desmond Bane ain't a guy. The reason why Orlando did their deal is because they feel like they're close.
And they have a guy.
And they already have a guy. Right?
He's the guy next to the guy. He's probably the guy next to the other 2 guys.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They got, you're right. They got Franz Wagner too.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dude out there. The issue with the Kings, we're not close. And when you look at, and Scott Perry, I'm sure will echo this, you know, going throughout the season. When you look at where you are, if you're Sacramento, how close are we to being where we want to be? Let's say you give up 3 or 4 first-round picks for somebody. Bring them here. But then you can't surround that player with talent. That's why it makes sense what Orlando did. So I do agree with TC. I don't think it's an overpay for Desmond Bane because they feel like the acquisition of Bane makes them championship level contenders.
Yeah, they already have a guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And the difference for me, Drapes, if I can jump in there, is where it kind of sticks you a little bit as the Kings fan, and I'm speaking for myself and maybe Kings fans, some Kings fans, you would rather have as many shots at getting the guy as possible, because we know, as history has told us, and I'm a believer, and I've said this, that I think you can change it. You just need somebody who's sharp enough to do it. But history tells us that small market, or not small market, but medium market teams like the Pacers, like the Kings, like Portland, teams like that, Utah, you need to have as many shots at getting the guy as possible, because it's going to be a little more difficult to trade for one of those guys.
Right.
And so I would have rather, and this is the one thing I can disagree with TC is he's right in the form of Orlando felt like Desmond Bane is their missing piece. You can definitely tell by the way they move.
Yep.
They went and got him. They completes their starting five. They think he's a dog at the end. You know, he plays. He definitely has played in the playoffs multiple years. He does everything that they believe they need, a shot maker, a finisher, you know, things like that. And they believe they'll move into the season being healthy. With the Kings, we probably have the guy who's next to the guy.
Yeah.
And Zach LaVine. Now, Zach, I always say this, come out and prove me wrong.
Right.
Please do. I'm asking. Take the next step and be a superstar. But if you aren't, you're probably the guy next to who that superstar needs to be. And you need as many shots at getting that person. I think we have the two guys who need to be next to the guy, Domantas Sabonis,
right,
Zach LaVine, and DeMar DeRozan. You could take your pick.
Let me ask you this, Jay. Zach LaVine is my guy.
Yes.
I got to reiterate that. When we look at Zach LaVine, we always talk about the contract. I get that. Contract is hefty. A contract.
Man, all these dudes is big.
But all these,
pay
right. Pay the money. But Desmond Bane's about to be a $36.7 million man, then a 39, then a 42, then close to a $45 million man. I could argue statistically, Zach LaVine is a better player than Desmond Bane. You look at the numbers, Zach LaVine is a better offensive player than Desmond Bane. Why does Zach LaVine get hammered so much then? Why does he get criticized and crucified? I don't want to hear about the Desmond Bane got a hefty contract too, and Zach LaVine's numbers are better than Desmond Bane. Why can't, and so I bring this up, Orlando sees Desmond Bane as the missing piece. But Zach LaVine's a better player, statistically. So to Jay's point, everybody want to make these trades, DeMar and Zach. Could Zach be the Robin if we had a Batman? And I can make the argument Zach's not the problem. The problem is we need to go out there and find a Batman. And how do we do that if we're the Sacramento Kings? 916-339-1140, 916. Who's that, Jay? Noe. Noe is on line one. Noe, you're on with Drapes and Jay.
Hey, how's it going, Drapes?
Good. What's up, Noe?
Nothing much. I was just talking about, I was thinking about the Fox trade, and I keep seeing this stuff with Rich Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the Kings were just backed into a corner making this trade. But Rich Paul just forced their hand to make it now and not later. So do you think if Clutch Sports wasn't involved with Fox, that Fox is still currently on the Kings?
Appreciate the call, Noe. I'm going to say yes. Because here's the thing, Jay. When De'Aaron signed with Clutch Sports, that was one of the first things we talked about. That when you sign with Rich Paul, you put your organization on notice.
Absolutely.
Right?
Scott Boras, a.k.a. Scott Boras of the NBA.
Exactly. And so, Noe asked the question, Rich Paul did his job. I'm not going to come down on Rich Paul.
He did.
Right. He did what he's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing. Even if Rich Paul said the only team he'll play for is San Antonio, if you're the Kings, you ain't got to do that deal. Okay. Only team he'll play for is San Antonio. Well, we'll see. We'll wait till the offseason. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like, and I do remember at the time, I think it was Anthony Slater. And shout out to Slates. You saw that news?
Yeah, big up.
Going to
big
ESPN.
up.
Shout out
I
there.
sent that to you, man.
Yeah.
Chips ahoy.
Chips ahoy. Cha-ching, right? But Slater and Sammy, I think they're the ones that reported this. That Paul told the Kings, you'd be wise to trade Fox sooner rather than later. That's a threat to me. If I'm Sacramento, that's a threat, and I'm calling his bluff. I look at what Pat Riley did with Jimmy Butler, and ultimately he did wind up trading him. But it's like we back down to Rich Paul's bluff. And what's frustrating about it, too, and I could go so many different ways with this, Kings fans. Why was De'Aaron, not why, but damn, De'Aaron, could you have played out the season? Like, how did it get to the point where get me out of town now? Nope, not off season. I want to leave right now. And I understand firing Mike Brown, played a part in that. But damn, team had just won 7 games in a row earlier in the month. Why did it get to a point where it had to be done at that point? Why couldn't we have played it out? All right, De'Aaron, like Jay said, get your surgery, get healthy, comes back healthy in the offseason. Now we're going to open it up.
Yeah, I truly believe that's why you've seen a bunch of fans upset with De'Aaron. Is because fans take it personal because they're spending their hard-earned money, time, effort to support a player like De'Aaron Fox, who came here and accepted the role of being, the face of the organization for pretty much as long as he was here. And for him to kind of say, or as far as we know, force his way out of here, I think that's why you've seen fans react the way they did. That's why I think you've seen some people, feelings hurt. That's why the emotion was high. And that's why I continuously keep on saying, and people on the text line have said it. You've read it. You've talked about it. Plenty of people have said it. This isn't the first time we have all had this conversation. We're rekindling it now because we're looking at a player like Desmond Bane, who's a baller. I love Desmond Bane. I think he kills the Kings, first of all. He attacks the Kings. I think he has one of the best short dribbles in the game. Him and DeMar have one of the best short dribbles in the game. That very short, quick dribble to get to the cup.
Yeah.
But that's the problem I think Kings fans had with De'Aaron was for everything that we given you, and the fans are speaking for the organization, this is what we're getting in return. That ain't fair. That's not it. We're not cool with that. And that's why I believe, on top of then De'Aaron, according to you ask, got a little mouthy.
Yeah.
Start talking a little bit. And people wasn't feeling that. I truly believe that's why a lot of people felt upset about what De'Aaron is because sometimes people let their emotions speak for them versus speak through emotion. That makes sense, James. And so I can't blame him. And I continuously kept on saying, I thought he would get booed by a lot, but I also thought time, like most, will heal all wounds or heal up most of the wound. But I said that. It felt like the Kings bent over backwards. It truly did. And it hurt fans to say, nah, forget it. If you're going to turn on us, then we want everything we coming for.
Right. Well, and here's the thing, Jay, and we're going to get to the phone lines coming up in a minute. While you're saying that, it made me think of Dame Lillard, the way he left Portland. He had played a number of years there, gave his heart and soul. It just didn't work out. But you know what? Dame Lillard still run a camp in Portland. Dame Lillard comes back to Portland, standing ovation. Fans love him. What's De'Aaron Fox's reception? Can he hold a camp here and it's all love? You know what I mean? Can he come back and play as a visitor and it's all love? I feel like that bridge was burned by not only the comments afterwards, but by the timing of it all. He plays out the season and they do it in the offseason. We understand. Spin it like that. You know what? 8 years here, want to move back closer to home. Wife want to be back there, want to play for a contender. Now you're doing the Kings a solid. Instead, and Peja used the term blackmail, that's the wrong. Instead, he strong-armed his way to San Antonio. That's the problem I think fans got, and I got, Jay.
I agree.
We got much more on this. 916-339-1140. We want you to weigh in. We'll get to the phone lines. Plus, Scott Perry with a message for Monday that may be directed at Kings fans as the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West 2011 renewal. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month, but what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports, 1140. Drapes and Jay holding it down. Kevin Whitey Gleason will be back next week. We got a special guest host coming up on Wednesday and Friday also. I won't tell the people yet who it is, Jay. It's kind of like a rollout.
Not a boy.
You know what I mean? You can't just give them all the nuggets right off the top.
Man, I got some solid guests that
You
I
ain't
haven't
tell me
told
about.
you.
Yeah,
Man. I've been reaching out this week. You know,
Really?
Summertime, baby. We digging deep.
Can I tell people about tomorrow's guest?
Sure.
Our boy?
Yeah, of course.
Marcus Dupree.
The great Marcus Dupree.
Friend of show. Saw him out at the golf tournament last week. Oklahoma standout. Guy got records, may never be broken. And a good dude, too.
Man, you know what? And Drapes, I know you haven't been a guest booker in quite a while, man. That's beneath you these days. But no, you help out.
I can do that.
Of course, man. When we holler, you reach out to a bunch of guys for us. But I've reached out to. I didn't really touch nobody this past weekend.
Okay.
Just because Father's Day, never know what people going through. But I reached out to, I don't know, 25 people today from my time waking up.
25.
Oh yeah, I'm reaching out, and it normally takes me that much. Like I normally reach out to about 20 people throughout on a Monday because that kind of rolls me into what I need to fill in for the rest of the week. But Marcus, and you know this, man, texting all these different big names to beat writers, to all these different people. And sometimes it takes 3 days for somebody to get back to you. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get people on, I reached out 3 weeks ago. And they're like, oh, yeah, I could do it today. I was like, what? Man, I forgot I even texted you.
Right.
Marcus hit me back literally within like 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, just got back and we'll have a conversation. The high school Heisman is named after Marcus Dupree now.
Yeah, you said
he
that.
was talking about that. And so they just got back from honoring the high school Heisman, which is crazy. Basically, the Heisman of high school football will be called the Marcus Dupree Trophy.
Yeah.
Not the Heisman, but the Marcus Dupree. And I said, man, that's super cool. So he shot me a couple of text messages of videos and stuff. I'm going to send them to you. But just shouts out to guys like that. Man, I mean, literally 5 minutes. Like, come on, man. Let's do it tomorrow.
Let's go.
I just got back today, Father's Day. Let me settle down. Let's do it tomorrow.
So that's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
I can't wait to hear some of these other guests because last week you were throwing out some names and everything.
I will say this. I hollered at my boy Chuck D.
Oh,
Chuck and Flav, they literally just went Friday or Saturday, 13th or whatever it was. They literally are going on tour overseas with Guns N' Roses.
What?
Yeah, and it starts this week. So he's like, Jay, man, we'll have to reconvene. And they're gone for a long time before they come back over. And timing is just too crazy over there. Like they're in the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you Google it, they're in some solid places.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see your Rolodex, man. See who in your
man, come on, brother.
Dude, if we had Chuck D, like,
oh yeah, Chuck is my god.
That would blow my mind.
I first met Chuck when they came out with, I want to say it was the 30 for 30 of Dr. J.
Oh yeah,
remember he narrated.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I do remember that.
And we had got him on, and that was the first time I ever spoke to Chuck. And he's like, dude, I love talking sports, which we know this was 2010 or whatever that was, 11 or something, 12. And let's do it. And that's how we cultivated the relationship, as my team said. But I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. We're hunting this week.
I can't wait. I can't wait. Back to this De'Aaron Fox conversation, which started because Desmond Bane going to Orlando sending KCP, Cole Anthony, 4 first-rounders, and a pick swap. And it just a reminder, like, we didn't get enough for De'Aaron Fox. Yeah, and Brian Windhorst, ESPN, and we're going to get him on the show here. This is what he said about that deal as well.
The Magic have needed more offense for a year, and it was actually a little bit mystifying that they didn't make a trade at mid-season when they had a bunch of expiring money on their books, when they wouldn't have had to give up a player beyond this year, and didn't do so. And they really collapsed offensively down the stretch and were not a threat in the playoffs because of it. So they trade for a guy in Desmond Bane, who over the last 3-4 years has averaged about 20 points and shot over 40%. He's under controlled long-term contract, plays both ends of the court, a quality player. And they also trade Kentavious Caldwell-Pope away. You have to look at this trade not only as acquiring Desmond Bane, but they're offloading the contract of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He was a big free agent signing a year ago, but he did not have a good year, okay, guys? And he's owed $43 million over the next 2 years. So part of what they're paying with those picks is for Bane, but also to offload what is viewed as a bad contract. It is a rich thing to trade. The 16th pick in this draft isn't viewed as super expensive, but unprotected in 26, 28, and 30. We have no idea what those teams are going to be. That's a big price, but they're paying for get rid of Caldwell-Pope and to acquire Bane. That's what you have to understand.
Okay. That's Brian Windhorst of ESPN on the trade that went down over the weekend. Desmond Bane to Orlando. Epic Airbees, friend of the show, always on the YouTube chat, said Fox got rolled over by too many coaching changes, no culture. I don't blame him for being disgruntled. I feel he tried enough, but the Kings should have played harder ball to get more back. Yeah, and he probably said enough is enough. The firing of Mike Brown was the nail in the coffin. But this is why De'Aaron Fox is not being viewed the same way Dame Lillard is in Portland. And Epic Airbees could be 1,000% right. He's disgruntled. Don't blame him. He tried. Don't blame him. But there's a way to leave and save grace and save face. And I think if he would have waited till after the season, fans would have respected and understood. You know what? 8 years here. Organization ain't make the playoffs. I get it. But George M916 says Cousins had more reason to want to leave Sac than Fox. We never built around him. Fox actually did get a lot of help. And I will say that's one thing Monty McNair did. Going out there and getting DeMontis Sabonis, bringing in Malik Monk, drafting Keegan Murray, bringing in DeMar DeRozan. Fox wanting out wasn't because of the lack of talent. Fox wanting out was because of the franchise's constant instability, a la firing Mike Brown. So I get wanting out De'Aaron Fox. But damn, bro, just wait. Just wait.
He couldn't.
Why not?
He was upset with the organization over the Mike Brown firing. And I think that's why you got to let
emotions and everything.
Yeah, emotions are high. That's why I think you got to let cooler heads prevail.
Let's get to the phone lines, Jay. John is hanging out on line one. John, what's up, man? You're on with Drapes and Jay.
Hey, guys. Hey, I'm going to try and stay on point, even though there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Because I called about the Levine-Desmond Bane comparison.
Oh, let's start with that. Go for it.
So this is my take. I actually was at the Memphis Kings game in like February, March, whatever. We won, and it was when basically LaRavia, Keon, and Devin Carter were just everywhere when they were on the court.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had the energy. We were kind of playing like Memphis Grindhouse style is what it reminded me of. And so, but Desmond Bane clearly was just killing us in that game, like he always does. But my take is, the difference, in my opinion, is statistically, yeah, Zach scores a few more points a game. He probably gets a similar number of rebounds and assists. But when I watch Desmond Bane play, he's like a man. I call him a dude. Like, he's physical. He's got a presence. He can score. And the way I look at it is, if I'm matched up against him, I'm an NBA 2 guard, and we're playing Memphis, I know I got to stop him on offense, but I know he's going to be a handful and in my grill all game long on defense too. So to me, that has value that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And there's only so many guys that really have that, because a lot of them are more like, I want to use like Kyle Kuzma, the big show when he walks into the arena wearing whatever he's wearing. He puts up statistics, but I never want him on my team. And I'm not saying that about Zach exactly, but some guys are just, they bring it on one end of the court, but you kind of know, like, I'll get mine tonight because Zach's on me. That's how I look at it.
All right, John, appreciate the call. And I get that. That's the thing. I hear John 1,000%. Desmond Bane plays with a toughness, an edge. But Zach LaVine is more of a finesse player. And it may look like he doesn't care or he's not trying hard or whatever. But that's because he's so smooth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I look at a guy like Kevin Durant, let's say, KD scores the ball so easy, it almost at times look like he's not trying. You can't tell me Kevin Durant's great on defense. Don't tell me Kevin Durant's a great defender, people. But when you look at the teams Kevin Durant has been on, look at the all-stars he's played with. My thing with Zach LaVine is you surround him with the right pieces, and I believe you'll get the best out of Zach. Zach's problem, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with playing for Minnesota when they were down, playing for Chicago. How many coaches did he have in Chicago? What kind of roster did they have around him? When Lonzo Ball got injured, that changed everything. Now he's here in Sacramento. Honestly, you could argue Zach's never been in a winning environment. And I understand he's putting up numbers and only made the playoffs once and all that. But if you put Zach LaVine next to LeBron James and see how he's playing. Put Zach LaVine next to Steph Curry and see how he's playing. Put him next to Jason Tatum in Boston and see how he's playing. And so when I look at Zach LaVine, because I'm looking at efficient numbers, Jay, 44.6 from three-point range last season. Come on, man. You put him next to the proper people, Scott Perry in Sacramento, I think we'll get the best out of Zach LaVine. Jay, we're up against it, man. We're going to take a quick break. Much more on this. Coming up at the top of the hour, Scott Perry's message, which may be directed at Kings fans. I've been teasing it. I'll bring it to you next here on the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Comfortable Tuesday morning with temperatures in the mid-50s. The afternoon will run about 5 degrees warmer. That'll put the valley in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Ugh, I gotta get business cards printed for my entire staff, but where do I even?
That was easy.
Oh, okay, Staples. But can I have bigger stuff printed too, like huge signs and banners?
That was easy.
Nice. And what if I had to ship a package?
That was easy.
Have my passport photo taken?
That was easy.
Coffee and snacks?
That was easy.
What about the latest laptops?
That was
Earbuds
easy.
and headphones?
That was
Office
easy.
chairs?
That was easy.
I think I also need to get some Staples.
Seriously?
I had to ask.
For everything your business needs to get the job done.
Staples. That was easy.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with turbo power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile
Whose hand is the ball going to be in? If it's Chris Paul, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that as a bridge year until you get your young point guard, whether in the draft or trade or free agency. But that's what I need if I'm the Sacramento Kings. And that's why I believe the Zach, DeMar, and Domas trio, I could see a path and a reason to run it back. And I'm not the only one. Scott Perry might think the same thing. Coming up in just a second, we'll get to the phone lines, 916-339-1140. Scott Perry delivers his Monday motivation. He tweets something out today that may be relevant here for our Sacramento Kings and the fan base. I'll tell you what it is. It's the Drive Guys next on Sacktown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Great conditions, a fun layout, and unbeatable value. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines are Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. With 27 holes, a spacious practice facility, and professional instruction, there's always a way to improve your game. Planning a tournament or corporate event, they offer customizable packages and award-winning catering to make your event effortless. Timber Creek is easy to find in Roseville, but hard to forget. Book your round today at timbercreekgc.com or call 916-774-3851.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Calling all gamers, get ready to play ball. It is video game night with the Sacramento River Cats on Saturday, June 28th, and we're bringing your favorite worlds to the ballpark. From pixelated classics to modern hits, it's the ultimate mashup of gaming fun and baseball action. Whether you're a casual player, hardcore fan, or just in it for the vibes, this night is for you. Enjoy a summer evening of River Cats baseball like never before. Level up your game night. Grab your tickets at rivercats.com.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Bang, bang, let's jam, carry this active. Let's jam, carry this active.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Ride, money, house, money, folks. No, uncompromised, you fuck. We got haters, smoke, drink with bitches.
Come on, Jay, you killing them today. Okay. Will any of our guests this week have any rap
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be there'll be one or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Dude, you gotta give me the heads up though.
Oh, of course I'm
so
gonna
I
give
can
you heads up
study
so you
up.
can study.
Yeah. I gotta study up.
I'll probably tell you like the day of or something.
Okay.
No, I might drop you a few.
Dude, I thought, and welcome back here. It's the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports 1140. Thought about doing a podcast.
Which one, man? You thought about doing about 17.
I
of them
know.
at this point.
Of me interviewing my favorite musical acts. Sort of like the Drapes playlist, but in video podcast form.
What stopped you? Time.
Trying to map it out. We got to talk afterwards. That's something maybe you and I could work on. A little podcast. Because I got the thing about me, and I'm sure you too, a lot of the stuff I like ain't the mainstream guys.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Or it ain't even the mainstream song. For instance, Lil Wayne coming to Golden One Center.
Yeah.
In September. I'm a Wayne guy.
Okay.
But I'm afraid the cuts he's going to play aren't the ones I'm checking for.
Well, there's a set list already dropped, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it really?
I thought I saw one
I gotta
already.
keep that then. That will be a determining factor.
Because a bunch of it is going to be his new album, Carter 6.
Have you talked about that? Have
No,
you
we
listened to it?
haven't. Bits and pieces. I'm not the biggest Wayne person. Yeah, I'm not a Lil Wayne guy. I respect what he's done to the game. I respect who he is, but I've never been the biggest Wayne guy. I've listened to plenty of albums, plenty of mixtapes. I was always more a BG and a Juvie guy.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the set list. He actually got a couple that I might.
Someone from the 530 said Taylor Swift is mainstream, Draper.
See, this is why, and me and Jay have talked about it.
Drape, she is the main of the mainstream.
She is mainstream. She's milk and milk toast.
Yes.
Here's the thing, though. As the great rapper Smooth B used to say. Yeah, I'm going back that far.
Okay.
I could chill in the Bronx, Jay, and still do the Hollywood shuffle. You could find me in the boroughs of New York or in Beverly Hills. I could listen to Taylor Swift and I could listen to Brother Lynch Hung. I could listen to Beyonce and I could listen to the Nonce. You ever hear of them?
No.
The Nonce, exactly.
Spell it out. Spell it out.
Nonce.
Okay.
Find that, Jay. Bus Stop or mixtape. No, mixtape. I used to sell mixtapes, but now I'm in it. Come on. That's what I could do. So to the 530, yes, Taylor Swift is mainstream, but I can also go to the Nonce. I can also go Lil Wayne. Come on, man. Don't get me like that. I also got I saw you looking for it. I know you found it. I know you found it.
I got to make sure it's playable.
Yeah, make sure it's playable, but it's classic. Dude, I think they might be from SoCal, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's I'm telling you about
you
somebody.
Got me. This one got me. There ain't underground West Coast classic mixtapes from the LA crew, the Nonce.
Yes.
It's not many people I ain't never heard of.
The Nonce. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So that's where I could go. I could go Taylor Swift and the Nonce. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, Jay. I've been saving this. I haven't even put this on the rundown. I got a take regarding a popular music artist, and it ain't Kendrick Lamar. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
That may get people up in arms.
Okay.
This artist is up there.
I'll wait for it.
Not Taylor Swift, not my girl Tay
it.
Tay, but that's coming up.
Mainstream.
That's coming up at the top of the hour. Back to our Kings conversation. I've been teasing it. And Jay, we sent this in the text chain regarding Scott Perry, our Kings GM. Every Monday, he puts out a Monday motivation, if you will. Hashtag Monday motivation. And here's what he said. First of all, what the hell is Scott Perry doing tweeting at 4:28 a.m.?
Still on East Coast time,
on
brother.
East Coast time. I'm like, hold up, 4:28, Scott, what you up to? He said, quote, "We need to develop patience and endurance for lasting achievement. We often expect immediate results and instant gratification. But any worthwhile endeavor entails much trial and error. Learn to look at each setback encountered not as failure, but as necessary to get you one step closer to ultimate success. Stay patient and consistent in your efforts, and you will find victory. Jay, we texted about that, and we both had the same thought. Is this regarding the Sacramento Kings? Is this his philosophy regarding the Sacramento Kings?
Just found it mighty funny. Fresh off a Desmond Bane trade, we see Kevin Durant's name being tossed around, Jaren Jackson Jr., Ja Morant, so many names. Seen Jalen Green name tossed in there today by Insider. There's so many. I mean, Jake Fisher, Mark Stein, they've talked about the Kings today, which we talk about as well. And so, speaking of the man himself,
who you got there?
I can't speak on it, man. He'll come in there and shake your hand real quick, and that's it. That's all.
Right.
But having those conversations.
Oh, what's up, big dog?
Yeah, having those conversations. You better tell him he's about to be on film if he come in there and say something.
No, he went away. He knew better than that.
So the having those conversations, they're going on, and then you see Scott Perry, who might be well, and we know this. He's poised, but he might be well advised to hold everything, all his cards in right now. And so if you really dip into what's going on right there, and you can read it one more time, his message via Twitter or X today, to me, it sounds like he's taking a jab at the NBA free agency and the all the conversations going on. Right. That's just me. I'm reading the tea leaves, Drapes, or maybe my mind wants to read into the tea leaves.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, because what you're finding out in NBA chatter right now, all these basement GMs. Oh, we got to do this trade. Oh, this is the guy. And Jay, over the weekend, and I'll read Scott Perry's tweet again for everybody that missed it. Over the weekend, I thought to myself, it's a lot of people talking basketball that don't know what the hell they talking about. I'm sorry. I'm not pointing any fingers.
I hear you.
But it's like some of the takes, some of the trade ideas, some of the players they're interested in. The NBA Twitter is awful right now. It's terrible. Our boy, Nate Jones, you know Nate Jones,
yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
He had an interesting tweet over the weekend. And I actually agree with him. Nate Jones, co-founder of Moving Souls, NBA agent and marketer. Because when you look at social media right now, everybody got an opinion. Everybody knows what's best for the franchise. Everybody got a trade idea. Nate Jones, he had a great tweet, and I'm going to pull it up here coming up in a minute. Here you go. He reposted this one also from May 31st. This era has done a disservice by making NBA fans obsessed with future draft picks. It's all propaganda by GMs, and it's crazy fans care so much. He said, I had someone telling me 3 picks for Siakam was crazy the other day. All of it is madness. If we said 2 years ago during the Siakam trade, you got to give up a player and 3 picks, fans might be like, oh, no, I'm not. He ain't worth that much. He ain't worth that much.
Yep.
Look what he did to Indiana, though.
Through the roof.
Indiana in the NBA Finals because of Pascal Siakam. Nate Jones also said this. It's just weird. We are in an era where fans of good teams are mad at GMs for going for it when teams have less of a window than ever before. The only time I admire pick stacking is when you are exiting an era. Boston exiting KG Pierce, OKC exiting Russ, Paul George, Houston exiting Harden. So when you look at the so-called pick stacking for Sacramento, let's say that people want tanking, Utah tried it. It didn't work. Charlotte's been having picks.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked. Brooklyn got picks. It ain't working. Brooklyn, so far, it ain't working. We'll see what happens going forward. Brooklyn got enough assets to go out there and get Giannis. They could go get KD. They could go get players. Nobody want to go there. And so, to Nate Jones' point, and to Scott Perry's point too, Sacramento, I don't think, Jay, we're ready for another 4 or 5 years of down basketball.
You've been saying it.
Right? Like, now, if we won a championship 3 years ago, all right, let's hit the reset button. You can't hit the reset button when you're already at the bottom or close to the bottom.
We're in the middle, man. Slow down.
No,
slow
my
down,
bad.
slow
You're right.
down.
We are in the
Come
middle.
on.
No,
We in the middle.
you're 100% right. We are in the middle. You're
Getting carried away.
I know. You're right. I'm getting carried away. But that's the thing. You know, if you're Sacramento, to Scott Perry's point, and who knows, he may not be talking about the Kings. I'll read it here again coming up in a minute. But you're trying to slowly build a franchise that is sustainable. He says, quote, Scott Perry on Twitter, "We need to develop patience and endurance for lasting achievement. We often expect immediate results and instant gratification. But any worthwhile endeavor entails much trial and error. Learn to look at each setback encountered not as failure, but as necessary to get you one step closer to ultimate success. Stay patient and consistent in your efforts, and you will find victory." Jay, I can't hear that and not think he's talking about the Sacramento Kings.
As some form of fashion. And that may just be, a prophecy, or as I don't know. Does he have a name for what he says?
Monday motivation.
Monday motivation.
Yeah,
So he
Monday
does just call it
motivation.
Monday motivation.
Yes.
Because I see it, but I never pay attention to see if there's a attachment or a name.
hashtag,
Yeah, exactly. So, but I do think he has taken his Monday motivation message this week and, put a little bit of onus on what's going on with his situation. And maybe he's putting out the Monday motivation that touches him. Because more times than not, and I always liken it to a DJ, and I've said this numerous times, the worst DJ plays music for themselves and not for the people who are dancing. Same thing, I would think. As much as he's probably reading or come across a passage or something that week, he's probably like, oh, that touches me. Let me relay that to the people who are listening. Right. I'm the DJ. I think his party right now involves Kings fans more than ever. He's the DJ and he's looking down and he sees a bunch of Kings fans. And he's playing those tunes for Kings fans. When I immediately read it, I hit you and you were like, yeah, I thought the same thing. So I just really think Scott Perry is playing to his crowd like a DJ right now.
To continue your, narrative about that, do Kings fans want to hear that though right now, Jay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I pose that question to Kings fans. Scott Perry is talking about patience. His Monday motivation is it's going to take patience to get to where you want to be ultimately. Kings fans, are we in the market of being patient right now? I'll tell you what, when Scott Perry got the job, even I was impatient. Scott, make a move, do something, trade somebody, right? We want some news.
You was on him already,
I was
man.
on him.
Shot him a text. Come on,
Scott. Let's go. Don't let Orlando have all the fun now, Scott. But here's the thing. He's given us, I think, a window into what he thinks, his thought process. And I go back to last segment or 2 segments ago. If he decides to run it back and you make some tweaks, you throw a point guard out there, can Kings fans be okay with that, Jay? Or is it not enough change? Is it not enough fireworks?
Drapes, I continuously, and I hate to be a broken record, speaking of music, I continuously keep saying, I think Kings fans are some of the most loyal fans, if not the most loyal fans in the game. I truly believe if you are keeping the Kings fans, the Kings Kingdom abreast of the situation, Kings fans will stick with you. They've stuck with this team and organization through the great times, the worst times, and in between, through thick and thin. And as much as we are fans like, I'm over it, I can't do it no more, most fans come right back because you're a fan for a reason. It's in your blood. It's in your bloodstream. But I think now more than ever, and you've talked about this and Whitey's talked about this, we're at a time right now with Kings fans I don't really remember ever being at in my time on the earth, in the form of Kings fans are some of the are educated at the highest level. And right now, they're not taking, well, we're just going to come out to the arena and we're going to accept everything that you give us this time. They're fed up with it. And I believe because expectations have changed over the last couple of years because they've tasted winning basketball again. They've tasted, oh man, this team can be an electric when it happens. And this is something that I want. It's almost like you're getting that first taste of sugar again after you go on a diet or whatever. You're like, you know what, man, it's going to be hard to stop again. You might have your cheat day. It's one of those things with Kings fans. They've tasted it and expectations have changed. And albeit expectations should have changed. You don't have the Beam team and you don't want to consistently be good. I think you have to change your expectations. But the other part of that too is the organization has to explain what is going on. You got to keep fans in the know. And when you consistently let the national media paint your own narrative, Kings fans are just fed up with it. Because who's the people that's defending against that national narrative? How many times, and you could take a step out of this conversation, please. How many times, Kings fans, do you feel that your voice is the one defending Sacramento, the Kings team, the organization, the moves being made? And then when as Kings fans, look for those answers through our local media or through our shows right here at Sports 1140 or through the local beat reporter or through social network, you're like, man, I'm defending stuff, but I don't even get my own answers taken care of. My questions taken care of. Where's the PR staff? Where are some of these press releases? Why does it take our general manager a month to come out and tell us what's going on? We don't have no direction, Drapes. And I think that's where Kings fans are consistently feeling like we're defending this team. We're wearing that badge of honor as Kings fans. But when we look internally, what's going on in Sacramento, we don't really know what's going on because our own organization, our own team, to most Kings fans, aren't making the best moves and aren't consistently coming out letting us know what the direction of this team is. What's minus moving into this year, Drapes? I think we're getting a better scope on what's happening. You got Scott Perry, you got BJ Armstrong, you got Coach Doug Christie, you got Bobby Jack coming back, you got Coach Mike Woodson. I think we're starting to see the direction. We're starting to see what the culture is going to be. But prior to this, even with Coach Brown, people highly respected coach in the league, getting ready to get an interview with the New York Knicks. Prior to what's happening now, when's the last time you can honestly say in your time being in the NBA that you felt the Kings had a direction and you knew what the culture was and it wasn't, no one was guessing. We knew what it was.
Right.
Memphis is grind city.
Yeah. No. I hear you. But this is my message, I guess, to you and the Kings fans, Kings Nation out there. Because I see you from the 916. Patient my ass. Kings just went through a 16-year playoff drought, for Christ's sakes. You can't change the owner in sports. You can only change the front office, the coaches, and the players. We got a new coach, and we got a new front office. How long do we give them, Kings fans? When 916 says patient my ass, what do you want them to turn it around overnight? You want to be championship contenders? Or, as Scott Perry tweeted out, we need to develop patience and endurance for lasting achievement. We often expect immediate results and instant gratification. I understand Kings fans are frustrated. I understand.
To the utmost.
And rightfully so.
As they should be.
But they can't be frustrated with Doug. They can't be frustrated with Scott Perry. They shouldn't really even be frustrated with DeMar and Zach and some of the new guys because they haven't even been here. You could be frustrated about everything that's happened. You could be frustrated with the ownership. And to Jay's point, one of the issues where the missteps Monty and Vivek and company made is not having the press conference, not being available, not coming on Sacktown Sports 1140 with the drive guys once every couple of weeks, once a month, whatever it is. Not having a state of the franchise.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you can't. When I look at, we talked about what's going on in Golden State. Joe Lacob, he's always on. Steve Kerr doing 2 radio shows a week.
Yeah.
Boston. You know how difficult the Boston media is, Jay?
Yeah, I do.
But Danny Ainge, Wick Grossbeck, the owner, John Henry, whoever it may be, they would still made themselves available. They would come on, take that. And so I'm going to try to get Scott Perry on. Can I try to get him on this week?
Of course.
We're going to try to get Scott on this week.
It's red carpet out here, brother, for Scott Perry.
Yeah, we're going to get Scott Perry on.
But you can't, Drapes, you've been in the league for how long now? Pushing close to 20 years?
20 years almost. Yeah.
Okay. 20 years. And that's what I continuously ask you, and I ask Kings fans, when is the last time prior to right now, this off season, last couple of months, when is the last time you felt as a Kings fan, you know the direction of this team? When is the last time as a Kings fan you felt like you have the answers? You've been equipped with all the knowledge for you to go out and defend who this team is, throughout the national media narrative, social network. You might want to get back and forth with one of your friends across the country talking bad about the Kings. When have you felt comfortable enough to know, I know what my team, my organization is going to bring to the table? I know what I'm equipped with because I'm in the know. I've been informed, or I can pretty much see it. It's been laid out. The plan is there. The GPS is on. We know where we're going. For me, I feel like prior to now, even with Coach Brown, even with Coach Yeager, even with Coach George Karl, Luke Walton, that's 3-4 coaches back now.
Yeah.
So let's just say since 17, 6 to 15 or so. I mean, that's 10 years when you stop and think about, like, man, that's 10 years ago already. I feel like we've been confused. I feel like it's been blurry. There's been no culture setting. There's been no roadmap. We haven't been in the know.
You know what it's like, Jay? You ever been to an amusement park? And I think it's at Disney, California Adventure. Goofy's Wild Ride. Is
I think so. Yes, it is California.
California Adventure,
it might
right?
be.
In the corner over there, I believe, at California Adventure.
Yeah, it might be Disneyland.
Might be Disney.
Might be in the corner with Toontown, like Roger Rabbit.
Man.
We're going to find out. Where are our Disney heads at?
I think it's that. But it's the roller coaster. It's kind of a roller. You're going straight, and then it whips you around. And that's what it's been like, I guess, for Kings fans. You feel like, all right, we got a new group. We rolling. And then, bam, you get whipped around. Got another group. All right, we rolling. Bam, we whipped around. And so when it comes to the Scott Perry message, and that's why I want to bring it back to this. Could his message, Monday motivation, also be a message to the organization?
I haven't thought about that.
We need patience.
Hadn't thought about that.
Because that's been one of our issues, right?
Setting a standard for everyone.
For everyone. Top to bottom. Ooh, that's deep.
Drapes, I tell you this, man. It's going to be very difficult. And I know there are some Kings fans who will say, man, I've waited this long. I could continue to wait. But I bring it back to what I said earlier. I can't remember a time that I've seen a higher number of Kings fans who are like, I'm done with patience. Someone on the text line 209, I'm done with patience. As you talked about, 916 said patience, they not caring. Someone said 16 years. I just really think we're at a point in the Kings run where fans are saying, I need a little bit more than what I've been given. And I truly believe if you have someone like Scott Perry, who you threw it in there, I hadn't even thought about that. Maybe he is the stability that we need. Maybe he is the table setter. Maybe he is the person that can play, can wear so many different hats and be the philosopher. I can talk to our fans also by talking to our organization. The whole King's Kingdom. I hadn't thought about it, but we need someone like that right now.
Right, exactly. 916-339-1140. Are Kings fans done being patient? Or are we holding Scott Perry and Doug Christie's feet to the fire here these next couple of seasons? How quickly do we need it to turn around? We'll take your phone calls and dive into that as the Drive Guys here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Comfortable Tuesday morning with temperatures in the mid-50s. The afternoon will run about 5 degrees warmer. That'll put the valley in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. And don't forget Dad this Father's Day or that grad in your life. We've got you covered at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning?
RV wins!
Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But
What I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
We get it. Tariffs are tough. Power tools are getting expensive. But at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, we're solving that problem for 2 short days on June 20th and June 21st. We're putting all DeWalt power tools on massive discount. Batteries for less than $100. Combo kits for under $150. 20% off all regular price Tough System boxes and much, much more. So stop by Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento on June 20th and 21st for some of the lowest prices on tools you'll ever see this year. To see all of what's on sale, visit FastenersInc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
According to Bogey Jones in the Daily Divot, golf is the best sport ever, and they provide a few reasons why. Some include no 2 courses are the same, so you'll never get bored. Some are wicked long, others have super thick rough, and others have fast greens. Enjoy the variety. You can make the game competitive with anyone. With other sports, bigger, stronger, younger opponents may have an edge. In golf, different tees and a formal handicap system makes it competitive, even if you're a 30 handicap. Golf can't be conquered. One day you can't miss a shot, the next day you want to throw all your clubs into the lake. The unpredictability is fascinating, and age is just a number. You can play when you're 70 years old. In fact, some don't take up the game until later in life, but don't wait that long. And you'll meet amazing people, celebrities, athletes, successful CEOs. You never know who you'll meet on a golf course. And oh yeah, it's a game, so have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Ooh, Drapes and Jay here on Sacktown Sports, 1140. Coming up in about an hour, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Pacers and Thunder tied up at 2. Watching Pascal Siakam warming up. Coming up at the top of the hour, which team needs this one more? And did the Pacers fumble the bag on Friday, losing at home? We'll get to that. But back to the Sacramento Kings discussion. Scott Perry seems to be preaching patience. That's right. In his Monday motivation tweet that he sent out earlier this morning, he said, any worthwhile endeavor entails much trial and error. Learn to look at each setback encountered not as failure, but as necessary to get you one step closer to ultimate success. Stay patient and consistent in your efforts, and you will find victory. From the 209, as Sacramento Kings fans, we've heard nothing but patience for the last 20 years. We have one good season to show for it. So Scott Perry can be the whisperer. It can be this guru, but it does not matter until we actually physically see results because we're tired of listening to talk. We want to see the walk. 916. Patience is very difficult to be afforded to the organization when it gets more and more difficult to afford to support the team. You ask for patience on a lackluster product and still charge like you're a championship team. Let me say this, Jay. No, because
hold on now, man.
No, because some fans be pissing me off sometimes. I need to look at our win total for the last 3 years. And by no means do I think we are where we need to be or should be, Sacramento Kings fans. But we're not Charlotte. We're not Washington. We're not Portland. And I get the frustration because we had something good and then it got stolen from us and torn down quickly. But Washington would love to have 40 wins right now. Charlotte would love to have 40. And I say this because I get the frustration, but I got to give Scott Perry and Doug some time. You know what it's like, Jay? You're a big college football fan. It's like taking over a down program. Washington State used to be kind of low. You got to give the new coach time to get his recruiting staff, his recruiting class in, his assistants in, upgrade the weight room, the facilities, things like that. When it comes to Scott Perry and Doug Christie, and Campio said 2 years on the YouTube chat.
Okay.
Is 2 years really enough time? Or is it give me 2 years so I can at least see the vision? Like by year 2, I need to see, okay, all right, I see what he's up to.
I think the standard now, though, is close to 2 or 3 years tops.
Yeah.
It might not be, I'm not necessarily saying that that's cool, but I think that's the industry standard. No, we see guys get 1 year. Nah, you out of here.
Mm.
Unfortunately, that's the way the game is played. And it's tough. It's tough to disagree with that because we keep seeing that consistently from so many different avenues of sports. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm not saying it's the only way to go about it. I think stability goes a long way. And we see, some teams, some organizations, some schools, speaking of college football, they go that route and It pays dividends down the road more times than not. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say, 2 years is that's about the going rate right now, Drapes.
Damn.
2 or 3 years in sports, man. That's all you have. I'll use this as an example. You're talking about college football.
Mm-hmm.
The way Sac State has come in and shook things up, a top 30, I think they were at last look, they were 25 a couple days ago or last week when I looked, a top 25 ranked school at Sac State this year. A recruiting class.
Yeah.
This is Coach Marion's first year, and I'm talking about football. And bringing in our type of talent, and he knows. And I think we had Coach Lim Adams on. Expectations have changed over there. Dr. Luke Woods has said, no longer are we getting ready to be the laughing stock of California in many ways. We're not getting ready to be the laughing stock of our conference anymore in many ways. And they haven't been since Coach Taylor was there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying it shows. Like Coach Marion knows he had to hit the ground running. The pavement is forever moving under your feet. It's a treadmill now. So unfortunately, you're probably only going to get to maybe 3 years in most instances.
Right.
Now, there are schools, we know Pittsburgh Steelers, they stick with people. We understand that. So there are organizations and schools who buck that trend. But I think you'd be remiss to not say there's a lot of people getting kicked out after 2 years, relieved of their duties.
I hear that, Jay. And this is where I push back on anybody who thinks that way. And you're 100% right. But that's what forces teams to make mistakes. That's what forces a GM to try to hit the home run instead of hit singles and build up your scores. It's like, I only got 2 years, so I got to do this. That's why if I'm Scott Perry, I say I need a 5-year contract. Probably ain't going to get it. He might settle on 4, but it got to be more than 3. 3 ain't, I know 3 the standard, but I might need more than that.
I'm with you.
Because the problem here we've had in Sacramento is we haven't taken the time to build the house right. We've felt so much pressure and lost patience so much that we try to fast track it. You know what building a basketball team is like? I don't know if you're a smoker, Jay, like a grill smoker in the backyard.
Of course, baby.
You ever smoke a brisket or some?
Takes time, 12 plus hours.
Try to do it in 6 and see
Come on,
what
man,
happens.
that thing ain't gonna be tough.
That's what we are, though.
Absolutely.
And so if Scott Perry's charge is to build this thing in 2 years, that makes you take risk, makes you take chances. that maybe you don't want to.
Drapes, and this isn't a question for you per se, but you're taking a stand with this part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Then I issue the verbatim of, I, as a Kings fan, me, not everybody, I'm pretty sure I speak for a certain amount of Kings fans, I would be okay if y'all came out and told me that, though, and stood on it. And to me, that's where Kings fans are frustrated, because, yeah, I think if you ask most Kings fans, they wouldn't have let Coach Brown go last year. It was still fresh. He could have turned it around. There was still some get back. But they changed so quick, so fast. And that's not the only example. Look at the coach before him. Look at the coach before him. Look at the coach before him. Do I go back to Coach Smart? I mean, we could continue and keep going back and forth. I think if you ask people, they would say, why would you fire Coach Yeager? To a lot of Kings fans, he was building something. You got rid of him quick. And that, I think, has the problem. Well, guess what? If you chopping guys off at a year and a half, 2 years, you only giving them, a couple of years max, then I'm going with your plan. But you consistently keep doing it, and we ain't getting nothing from it. There's no results. There's no winning culture. There's nothing being said. There's no tradition being made. So it's kind of like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I truly believe Kings fans would take the fact of the Kings coming out and say, you know what? We're going with Scott Perry, B.J. Armstrong, Coach Doug Christie, Coach Bobby Jackson, Coach Mike Woodson for 5 years. Everybody getting 5 years. And we're going to try our hardest to do it. And if it doesn't succeed, it goes back to what I said. At least we know we gave it a valiant effort.
Right.
It wasn't within 2 years. We ain't jumping around. We got some structure. You're talking about some foundation. We have some direction. We know what's going on. But that's not what's been happening. And so what am I supposed to be looking for if I'm a Kings fan? You haven't told me what's going on. You don't know you haven't told me what the plan is. All I do is, next thing you know, I read, this coach been let go. This coach has been replaced. That coach has been replaced. This general manager's gone. We don't it's just all coming from nothing, and there's no plan. And if there is a plan that's inside, and I'm speaking prior to Scott Perry and Coach Christie and the people now, if there was a plan, we never knew. Nobody came out and said nothing. Like you said, there was never no state of the franchise, Drapes.
916-339-1140. We'll continue this conversation. Somebody from the 916. Patience in this town is a slur. We've been patient. You better be a miracle worker or get out. Deliver and deliver now. We'll dive into that, talk more of that. Yeah, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Comfortable Tuesday morning with temperatures in the mid-50s. The afternoon will run about 5 degrees warmer. That'll put the valley in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. And don't forget Dad this Father's Day or that grad in your life. We've got you covered at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton and Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Know the summer never ends, but the city right. Know we like to come alive when it turn at night. Been to pull up just to see it.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
No shade, just a summer breeze.
Jay Johnson on the boards, on the ones and twos. Jay, who this?
It's Desi Hollow. You ever heard of Desi Hollow?
Nah.
Fresh out of Oceanside.
Really?
Yeah, featuring Norman Carter from the Delphonics.
Okay. Oh,
singing
snap.
the hook right here.
How you know this? Okay.
And ain't no place like California.
I see, man. Okay, okay.
If you've never heard of Desi Hollow, you should, man.
Desi Hollow.
Young gun out of Oceanside, California, man. He's been putting on not the longest,
right,
for a few years. Got a bunch of West Coast. He's kind of like, even though he's younger, he's more of that dog pound kind of SoCal, definitely SoCal,
Okay.
G-Funk type feel. You know, a bunch of Cali hits.
How'd you hear about it? And this ain't no, because this is my problem with music today.
Yeah.
It's hard to hear the young up and comers, the not big label pushed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I felt like I came across him listening to something, you know, Dog Pound or something one day.
Okay.
I think the first song I'd ever heard with it will feature Corrupt from Dog Pound or something. And then it just kind of spun into it. And like, you know, like that G-Funk sound. I was like, oh, let me check Big Time out. So I looked at a few of his hits. But if you are a middle 90s, late 90s, early 2000s G-Funk, which is, you know, Dr. Dre, Superfly, Battle Cat,
Yep.
Cocaine, guys like that, then he's your field.
Really?
Definitely. Dog Pound. Yeah. Like he's got that G-Funk sound to him.
All right, I'm gonna have to check him out.
Definitely.
I'm gonna have to check him out.
And he puts on for Cali hard too.
Does he? Okay.
And he's got a bunch of kind of hits like that. Phil kind of got that good, easy vibe.
And what was the name of that one you played?
That was called Summer Breeze.
Summer Breeze.
Just came out literally like last week.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Back here on the Drive, guys. Sacktown Sports 1140. Want to take a quick break from Kings Talk. Jay, you see my girl Caitlin Clark over the weekend?
I did.
Gonna put some respect on her name?
Well, I never not.
Just making sure people recognize game, man. Caitlin Clark against the New York Liberty. 9-0 coming in.
Okay, man.
Undefeated. Brianna Stewart at all them. Caitlin Clark.
All them.
All them. Sabrina Ionescu. 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds as the Fever won 102-88 over the New York Liberty. I bring this up, Jay.
Here we go.
Not to dive into Caitlin Clark or anything, but it got me thinking, which athlete would you most pay to see right now? I'm going to Vegas on Saturday, Jay. You know why I'm going to Vegas?
I told you I want to know, man.
Nah, I'm talking during the daytime.
Oh, okay.
The daytime activities we could talk about, not the nighttime activities.
All right, man. What you going for? Aces
Caitlin
game?
Clark and playing the Aces on Sunday. So I'm taking a trip to Vegas.
I was going
to
say
see
something.
Caitlin Clark play the Aces.
You paying for that ticket?
Of course.
Okay.
I mean,
Kind
I did
of.
buy tickets.
Yeah, kind of. I get what you're saying.
I
yeah.
could get the hookup, but it's like Wu-Tang Clan.
Right.
I could get the hookup, but I'm like, let me just buy
Sometime
it.
I do. Yeah.
So
I get
you know what? I'm
yeah,
gonna just buy
I'm
it.
just do it. Support. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I'm going to Vegas to see my girl Caitlin Clark up close and personal.
Didn't you see them last time?
No, I haven't seen her, bro.
What last year we were in summer league? What game did you go to? Aces? Who?
It wasn't Aces. Oh, it was Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Our boy Angel Reese.
Okay,
Our girl
gotcha.
Angel Reese.
Okay.
Yeah, saw her up close and personal.
I knew it was somebody last year that was a rookie that you went and seen when we were in Vegas.
Yeah, so I'm going to see Caitlin, and here's the
Is this your first time seeing her?
Yes.
Okay. Was the not you don't tell me the value, but was the ticket a little more than what you thought?
Yeah. I mean, it's come down a little bit. I'm sure it'll go back up because remember she got hurt. And so I bought it when she got hurt. So it went down a little bit. Now it's probably going back up. But here's the thing. Now I'm coming to you not as Jay the producer. I'm coming to you as Jay the father, Jay the OG that you are. Nick wants to see Caitlin Clark in person. I have not told him I'm going to Vegas to see her. Should I tell him or just keep it a secret?
Hell yeah, tell him.
He gonna be like, I want to come.
Man, you just came from Tahoe.
Okay. But then I feel like obligated to take him.
No. See, that's
Not
the problem.
to Vegas. If it was in LA,
that's the problem, Dres. These children, man, these kids, Bernie Mac, you know what I'm talking about. Forget these kids, man. These kids, they just came. Okay. We just came from Chicago, saw the Kendrick Lamar concert, did all of that jazz for about 4 days or whatever. And then me and my wife were talking. It's like, you know what? This summer, really trying to stash some stuff, do some things. I got a couple projects I really want to work on. And I'm like, you know what? We just came from Hawaii a couple weeks ago.
Took daughter with
Took
you,
the
right?
daughter
Yeah.
and her friend.
You took a friend?
Took her friend.
Okay, big baller.
Took her friend
Okay.
with her so she could, move around, do their thing. And we're like, we might do one more little trip in the summer. And I looked at her and I was like, hell no.
Damn, Jay.
We just took her to Hawaii.
It's a long summer though, bro.
I
What
get
you want
it.
to do in July?
Guess what? Camp. The same camp that you want me to pay for. That one. No,
Right.
but I figured we'd do like arena, something smaller.
Yeah.
LA or whatever the case may be. But I'm saying that's a problem, Drapes. We think about our kids so much that we feel guilty if we gonna have a good time.
Right.
Hell nah. Look Nick in his face. Where'd you just come from, young man?
Right.
Tahoe.
You just
Right?
went
It's a
to Tahoe.
blessing.
They
That's a
going to
blessing.
Boston in a week and a half.
A blessing.
8, 9, 10 days.
Blessing. Didn't you just take them somewhere?
We went to Disney and everything a few months ago.
Come on now.
Shoot, they went to Hawaii, Mexico.
Come on, man.
Come on now.
Come on, man. It's a blessing. You shouldn't feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad.
So I should tell them. No.
Of course. Got to learn to deal with it sometime. I mean, come on. Drapes.
I hear you, Jay.
The Draper family household, because of your hard work.
That's true.
Mother's hard work.
True, yeah.
They are blessed beyond no question.
Correct.
It's okay for us parents to not have to do every single thing for our children every single moment. There was a point in time as a shoe person or a fashion guy, whatever, I'd go buy something. It's like, I gotta buy my daughter something.
Right.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Because you know what? More times than not, as parents, we're supplying and orchestrating every single deal for our children. And it's flip-flopped. We don't do enough for ourselves. Sometimes we forget to keep living. Sometimes we forget to continue to enjoy our own self and do what makes us happy sometimes. Man, Nick better sit back and relax.
But hold up. Wow. And I agree 1,000% with you. Why did that change though? Because growing up, my parents wasn't taking me everywhere, buying me the latest sneakers and giving me jerseys. But you know what?
They did. You were younger. You just didn't see it.
You think so?
Absolutely, man.
I don't know.
Listen, we all come from different backgrounds. There are plenty of people out there who weren't able to have certain things just as much as there were people who had way more than they probably needed. We all come from a different place. I say this, if you were blessed enough, because I have friends who weren't, I was blessed enough. My mother, even though I grew up in a single family household, my mother strapped her boots on, worked hard for me to at least have what I believe we all should have, the basic and the necessities. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in our world who don't have the basics and necessities, and that's a problem. But if you are able to have, which sometimes we forget, running water and power and energy and heat and all these different AC and a car, so many different things, shoes on your feet, a coat in the winter, certain things that people don't have all the time. Then they did their job, Drapes. And you were well taken care of if you had those things, right?
I did, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so they did take care of you. You just felt like, you know what, man, I wanted them extra pair of them Clyde Fraziers. I needed them Ralph Sampson Pumas, them superstars. And they're like, nah, you know what, man? Not today. I'm going to get them Elises.
Oh, yeah.
Shouts out to Elise.
Elise.
Yeah,
Hey, I want to continue this. Plus, we'll dive into the NBA Finals. Game number 5 tonight. It's the Drive Guys here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916
520-9998 now. Hi, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they've won over $500 million in settlements. Downtown LA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text Injury Help to 40222. That's Injury Help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Get a $15 prepaid MasterCard after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Celebrate the baseball legacy of legendary Major League manager Dusty Baker on Friday, June 27th with the Sacramento River Cats. The first 2,500 fans will receive a bobblehead of Sacramento's own Dusty Baker. Enjoy an exciting baseball game and take home a piece of history with your very own Dusty bobblehead. It's a night packed with fun, baseball, and memories on Friday, June 27th, so don't wait. Grab your River Cats baseball tickets today before they're gone, only at rivercats.com.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Come on, Jay. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports. You don't know that one?
Man, I had to pull this. I DJ Jazzy Jeffed out the crate with this one.
That is a classic right there. Hit us up, 916-339-1140 in the text line, the YouTube chat. You know about the nonce right there, mixtapes, LA rap group in the 90s. That was my wheelhouse right there, Jay. That was my heyday right there. I was the West Coast kid living on the East Coast. I was playing all the West Coast music back in Philadelphia at that time.
I see.
People ain't know it. I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you. Remember the old wooden crates?
Yeah, the old,
not even the plastic joints.
Joints.
Nah, the wood one where the nail would get you, or you might come across the wood a little funny and get a splinter. That's the crate I was digging in.
Bro, I don't know if I got that on my playlist.
You don't, man. You pulled that out of the out the hat.
Nah, man. Come on. I got a West Coast playlist right here that I started.
Give me 5 songs off of it.
5 songs on it right now?
Quick. Yeah.
I got some Spice One.
Okay.
Jealous Got Me Strapped.
Yep.
Remember that one?
Of course.
Got some Brother Lynch Hung.
Okay.
Sick Made.
Okay.
Remember that one?
Sacramento's fine.
Yep. I got some The Coup.
Okay.
5 Million Ways to Kill a CEO.
Uh-huh.
I gotta add a Federation Hyphy.
Okay.
Gotta add come on, man. I got
some Ice Cube. When will they shoot? You remember that one?
I just
stomping, walking with my big.
Oh
black
yeah.
Yeah. I got some Miss Chalet on there. I got some Yo-Yo.
Okay.
I got Above the Law. Did I say Above the Law?
Nah, you did.
Yeah,
Shouts out
Above
to
the
my
Law.
boy, man. Laylaw, rest in peace.
Damn.
Code 187.
Yeah.
Big Hutch. That's my guy.
Some Black Superman.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I text Big Hutch, see if he jump on.
Hey, get Big Hutch on. Shoot, that was mid-90s, early to mid-90s West Coast rap.
That was you.
That was me, man. That was me. Obviously, we've talked about it. I was an MC8 guy. I was, MC8 and that beef with DJ Quick. I was an MC8 guy the whole time. And so, nah, man, I'm going to add to the West Coast playlist. I'm going to throw the Nonce on there. I'm going to throw some Drew Down on there. Of course, some Rescue 911 and everything like that. Real quick, because we were talking about kids and buying things, and we'll get to the NBA Finals here in a second. I told this story before, but I'll tell it again, Jay. Growing up in Philly, I didn't think we had a lot of money. And JB, you're on it. My parents bought me shoes from Payless Shoe Source. My kids are getting Jordans, right?
That's Payless is no longer.
Payless is no longer, right? So there were these Patrick Ewing's rivalries.
The Orions or the Patrick Ewing Adidas or the
Adidas.
Patrick? Okay.
Adidas.
Yeah.
Everybody. It was the hot sneaker. This is like 85, 86, 87. I'm going way back. 86, I think it was. And yeah, 1986. I see them right there. And they cost like $80 at the time, which was a lot at the time.
Sure.
And I wanted them, but I knew my parents wouldn't buy them. And so we went to Payless Shoe Source, and they had the knockoff joints. So I got 2 pair for $50.
Come on,
or
now.
whatever. Cut the tag on them.
Yeah.
On the tongue. You know what I mean? Cut it up so people couldn't
see.
see
it. Okay.
So first day, I told this story before I got to tell it again. I'm rocking them. I'm stepping out with my Patrick Ewings. And everybody's like, oh, Draper, you got the Ewings. I'm like, yeah, what's up? And then this one guy.
Gotta be a
I forget his name.
Come on. Know the stitching.
Right.
On
He
it.
knew the stitching, right? The shade of blue was just a little off, right? He's like, hold up here, Kyle. Hold up here. And it's during the winter too, so it's cold in Philly.
Snowing and stuff.
Yeah, so I got the long pants on covering the tongue. So I think I'm good. He comes over, lifts up my pants, looks, and then everybody went, ah! Dude, that was. But here's the thing, man. I know, but I knew they were a lot of money, and I didn't even want to ask my parents to buy them.
I hear you.
Kids nowadays,
it's expected.
At least 3 times a week, my daughter say, Dad, when are we going to Dubai? Dude, I'm telling you. I'm like, all right, honey, what you want for your birthday? Dubai. Like, all right, we want to do one more trip this summer. Let's go to Dubai. And I'm just like, where are these kids getting this? I would never think. There's a coat back in the day. It was
Come on, man.
I know. A coat I wanted back in the day. Dubai. Billion Boy Bay or something like that was the manufacturer. My parents looked at me and said, no. Like, I even tell you something else, Jay. This is how my dad operated. Shout out to Aaron Draper back there in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just celebrated Father's Day yesterday.
Happy Father's Day, Mr. Draper.
He looked at me one time and said, Kyle, you never asked me for nothing. I'm like, yeah, because, he's like, I need you to ask me for things.
To say no.
To say no. He said, at least give me the opportunity to say no to you.
Let me do my parenting.
Right. And I was like, what the heck? But nowadays, these kids don't understand that. They don't understand no.
Far from it.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Man.
Dubai.
She want to go to
she
Dubai.
don't even want to go to Cedar Rapids, Disney World,
right?
None of that.
She talking Dubai, and so now she's trying to talk me though into San Diego.
Okay,
which is
that's all right.
I'm skipping
reasonable.
the jump. But like you said, we done went to Tahoe. They going to Boston for 9-10 days. They might be good for the summer trips.
back in the day, Art, like you said, we had one summer trip.
Come on.
And that was to West Wing Park, which was like 2 hours. It was an amusement park 2 hours from Philly.
There it was.
That was it. Or we go visit
Ringworld.
our uncle in D.C., my uncle in D.C. or something like that.
Same thing.
We wasn't hopping on planes and going to Mexico and Hawaii every year and everything like that.
Same thing. Might get to, I had an aunt who lived in Chicago, so I'd go up there.
Yeah.
And I had an aunt and uncle who lived in Santa Barbara because they were going to college. Going up there. So I'd go down that way. But yeah, that was it, man. You might get like I said, a Marine World run, which was Six Flags, you might get a Six Flags run. You might get a Great America. You might get a Disneyland run once every, 3, 4, 5 years or something, every 5 years or something of that nature. San Diego,
right?
See the wildlife park, the zoo. Take your butt down to Marine World. Different game
nowadays.
You see but you see on the text line, Tony from Midtown, my daughter got mad at me because I didn't know that the Jordan drop was on ECT.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. It's the same shoes re-released every few years, saying those are superpower. I will say this. Because we need to do a podcast or something.
Yeah,
Drapes.
we should.
There is, as a former shoe person, I am completely, what was that, Tony from Midtown? Jordans are, this is going to get people upset, played out.
What?
Dude, as a reformed shoe guy, Jordans are played out.
Oh.
And if you are consistently buying the same Jordans, if you've had the cool grays 5 times, the cement 3s 8 times, stop it. The black and white patent leathers, people, the Concords. Gotta put a name to them nowadays. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And stop buying Jordans that Jordan ain't never thought about coming out with. He ain't got no grapefruit 12s. I could never do it. Jordan came out with 4 colors.
Yeah.
The original white, black, reds, right? You get the white reds.
Okay.
The all-stars were the blue joints.
Okay.
And you get the black reds for the most part.
What about the Carolina blues?
For the most part. Okay. That's what I said. For the most part. Then as he got a little further down the road, you get, like you said, start getting the 8s, they got the gray, the 9s, they start the 10s, white and red. Like there were some different ones, like you said, patent leathers, white and grays. Then they double back around, made the Space Jams, cool grays, and things like that. But what I'm saying now, we've gotten so far away, it'll be a Jordan 7 and a grapefruit, purple, and lavender. And just because you put a name on them, them the Darkwing Ducks, we all supposed to go run from them. Nah, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Somebody told me the Jordans were played out now.
They played out, man. You know where J's are for little kids now.
Damn, Jay.
Yeah.
What about the Jordan lows? Like for guys like me,
well, when I say that, what I'm talking about is there is a specific. Okay. See, we got to get into it now.
All right.
If you are busting some original color Jordans, which I just said, one of the 4, or when they start doubling back around and start creating original model colors, which I said Space Jams, white and blue Carolina patent leathers, things like that. Those are okay. If they were something like, you can't rock Team Jordans unless they were Eddie Jones's, Vin Baker's, the Vindicates. They had to be connected to something.
Okay.
When you start getting a Jordan where it's like, what is that? That's just
some random.
Just random.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not it.
Yeah.
Again, I understand people aren't blessed to do certain things. Totally get it. Hence why Shaq came out with his form. Hence why Akeem came out with the Spaldings. Hence why Stephon Marbury, who was getting ready to re-release his shoes, came out with Baird in them, or excuse me, with Barry in them. Yeah, definitely understand those things. But if we're talking about Jordans, man, I'm just tired of them re-releasing the same 12s
right.
for this is the 27th time. And then again, you throw in, like I said, you throw in some watermelon green, call them the bubble yum pack, and you're supposed to run out and get like, that's played out, man.
Yeah.
That's played out.
Yeah, I'm I ain't been on Sneakers app or tried to hit any drops.
Because ain't no need to. They've re-released them 26 times.
Yeah.
Why do you want me to continue to keep buying the same shoe that I've already gotten 7 times? Now, there is some caveats, but I'm saying we're setting some standards. We need to set some standards, just like we're talking about the King setting standards. It's time for the shoe game to set some standards again. I said I'm reformed because the shoe game just got out of control.
Yeah.
It's too much now.
Too many releases. Every
man,
week is something that you chasing.
It's ridiculous, man. Shoes got too expensive. $250 for some foam posits and stuff. Like, come on, man.
Dude, I talked to the dudes at Phenom a while back.
Yeah.
Over at Doco. Shout out to them. And they're like, yo, Jordans. People they rocking the New Balance now or the Asics.
Asics is hot for the kids. New Balances are super hot. Definitely. I was just having this conversation with my barber. Shouts out Dave over at Skills Barbershop on Florent Road. Just having this conversation about this. I think being 42 years old, I came up in the golden era of tennis shoes. If you look at all the shoes that basketball players really made super popular, or if you look at what is considered popular in sports culture these days, it pretty much came out when I was a kid. More or less late 80s to about 2000. Yeah. Now, there's some moving, and I say, well, late 80s to 05. That's all my elementary school. I graduated high school within a couple years of that, and I was in college. That's pretty much your heyday, right? You look at it now, Drapes. When I was coming up, Asics, New Balances, Saucony's, shoes like brands like that. Those were, we used to look at East Coast people. Like, that was East Coast shoes.
Yep.
That was East Coast gear. Tim's for sure was East Coast gear. Yeah. Now that's like the end.
That's the end.
That's the end.
Everybody,
it's there. Yeah. Jays are definitely playing out. I'll propose this. I dare you to tell me when the last time you seen a ball player, I'm talking about in the NBA,
wear Jordan
or anybody on the street wearing Jordan 33s, 34s, 30s. People don't even know what they look like.
Yeah.
Jordan's still making shoes every year.
Right.
Who's bought the Jordan 33s? Nobody.
Yeah, I gotta look Jordan 33s up. Damn. I'm like, what's those?
Come on. Nobody's wearing the Jordan
ain't
28.
Wearing them. Ain't nobody wearing them.
Can anybody point out a Jordan 28?
So when did it, 16, 17?
I say 21.
Okay.
21, I think, was the last time.
Yeah, ain't nobody wearing the 28s. I'm looking at them. Ain't nobody wearing none of these. 916-339-1140, man. Some of you guys from the 4015. When Payless got LA gear, I was in heaven.
Shouts out to the 415.
Yeah.
100%.
916. Don't forget the Dadas.
Of course.
Remember the Dadas.
Yep. Diodora.
Yeah, Diodora.
I'm a shoe guy, man.
Yep. Exactly.
British Knights.
Great BK.
Come on, man.
Had a pair of British Knights back in the day. Come on.
You could have. You still have flavor. And that's the thing. That's the thing about shoes. If you rock them with confidence,
right.
Didn't matter what you had.
Right.
Didn't matter what you had. Now, of course, as kids, we tease each other. But that's the blessing about, one thing I'll say about now is you can get away with wearing whatever you want to wear. And
nowadays.
That's the blessing. Oh, yeah. Shots out.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I truly believe anyone can present their style and be confident in it. And that's beautiful. I do think there was a time where, unfortunately, wealth showed with the type of, kicks you wore.
Yeah.
All those type of things. And that's the beautiful part about it now is put on whatever makes you comfortable. put on with whatever you feel is a solid kick or, close. That's our culture nowadays, man. That's beautiful. I appreciate that.
916-339-1140. If you want to talk sneakers, you want to talk raising kids, you want to talk Sacramento King patience with the Kings. We got phone lines open right now. I do want to shift gears. NBA Finals, Game 5 set to tip off in a few minutes. OKC, Indiana tied up at 2, Game 5 in Oklahoma City tonight. And I'm going over the box score from a few nights ago. And first of all, let me say, the league is fumbling the bag with this schedule.
Yes.
I almost forgot the finals was going on, Jay. It's been so long since we had a game.
Truth.
Like, it should have been a game on Father's Day.
I agree.
It should have been a game on Father's Day. It used to be, I feel like.
It did.
Who plays Friday and Monday?
The NBA.
How does you're a media veteran, and I know it all goes into TV and but who says it's okay to play Friday night and then Monday night? What happened to Saturday night games?
Yes,
or Sunday afternoon or something like Friday and Monday? I literally forgot the finals were still going on.
Man, my pops sends a text to my wife yesterday. It's like, you guys coming to the house? Like, oh, yeah, we're going to pull up. It's like, all right, make sure, let you know, staying late because me and my son watching the game tonight. And I told her, I said, I don't know what are you talking about. Ain't no game tonight. What game we talking about?
This was yesterday?
This was yesterday. It's like, oh, so she, they're texting back and forth. I said, the game is tomorrow. So she texts my pops and was like, no, the game is tomorrow. And he's like, you don't know sports. Let me talk to my son. Like, he's doubting her. And so he was like, oh, I guess he Googled it. He was like, he had to apologize to her. I apologize. You're right. It's tomorrow.
It don't make sense, dude.
You're definitely 100% right.
Who gives away a weekend? Like, you got to have at least one game over the weekend.
If you're competing against the NFL, you better.
Right.
Because you sure ain't running from the U.S. Open.
Right. You ain't running from golf, mate. Nah. And you should have had it set up where, all right, golf ends. Now let me turn to the basketball game. There you go. Because golf was over by like 4:30 our time.
Okay.
Yesterday, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Could have easily have rolled into NBA. And so I get home and ain't nothing on TV. Ain't no games. Ain't no, golf is over. No basketball. That's something for Adam Silver. But OKC won Game 4, 111-104. And my question is this. Did the Pacers fumble the bag, Jay? Did they lose the finals not closing out and not winning Game 4? Because here's why. Tyrese Halliburton in that game, solid stat line, 18 points, 7 assists, 2 steals. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 35. He had clutch shot after clutch shot. They outscored the Pacers 31-17 in the fourth. And so if you're OKC, everybody's been talking about the Pacers, Tyrese, and all that. But you return home with home court advantage back. That's where I feel like the Pacers fumbled the bag. They had the series. They had control. And now OKC, and this is what they do. They did the same thing to Denver a couple of series ago. Now OKC, they're 2 wins away with 2 at home if it goes 7. I feel like the Pacers must win tonight. Because if they lose tonight and lose the finals, the question is, does Tyrese Halliburton, the legacy, the King shouldn't have traded this guy, does he just become another guy if they don't win the finals?
That's a tough question. I'll answer that when we come back. But I want to jump on piggyback on this real fast.
Yeah.
Sean Cunningham tweeted this after Friday night's game. This is what I thought, and he tweeted it. So I'll just read what he says.
Yeah.
Those last 3 minutes of tonight's Game 4 might have been the most important of these finals. And I agree with him. I say 4 minutes because I remember looking at the clock. It was 3:58.
Right.
The last 4 minutes for me of Game 4, and we can be completely wrong. Indiana could come out and smoke them the next 2 games. But I truly thought that was the championship for Indiana.
Right.
If they would have played those 4 minutes out and won that game, I think they would have snuck one of the next couple out. I truly thought, yeah, this is OKC series now.
Right.
That last 4-minute stretch, Drapes, Pacers, Ben Mathurin missed some free throws.
Committing fouls. Yeah.
Neesmith, committed a few ticky-tack fouls. I thought that was where the series is going to be won and lost. Still TBD, to be determined. But I walked away from that feeling the same way Sean Cunningham tweeted. Those 3, he said 3, I say 4 minutes, to me dictated who's going to win the championship. I think OKC comes out and wins tonight, and then you're really looking for them to not lose back-to-back games.
Right.
It's going to be tough to beat them 2 times in a row. They don't really lose 2 times in a row.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah.
And so I know the cardiac kids, the Pacers, they've gotten here winning unbelievable games and comebacks and things that we counted them out. Game 1 against the Knicks. But I truly thought those 4 minutes was, if I'm a Pacer fan, I walked away from there like that probably was our championship right there.
Right.
It's tough.
It's tough, man. That's why I feel like they fumbled the bag. They had it in their hands, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took over in that fourth quarter. We'll talk about the finals, what it might mean for Tyrese's legacy if he doesn't cash in and win the championship this year. You're listening to The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Comfortable Tuesday morning with temperatures in the mid-50s. The afternoon will run about 5 degrees warmer. That'll put the valley in the low 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
It's about time they
fix that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock.
Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area.
$12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
West rating 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Only one
Spartan radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Drive Guys here on Sacktown Sports 1140. A few minutes away from tip-off of the NBA Finals, Game 5 between the Pacers and OKC. Real quick on the YouTube chat, Diamond DNLBC. Jay is spot on. Fashion isn't just having the most expensive gear anymore. It's about being an individual.
Do you?
That's good, too.
The great part these days.
Yeah, I'm glad it went that way, man.
I do too, man.
Yeah.
It's taking away the pressure, especially for our younger generation, you know, growing up with that pressure of bullying and teasing and, you know, however, whatever adjective you want to utilize, sometimes it can be taken a little too far.
Yeah.
So just being comfortable in who you are and what you wear, there's just so many. I actually smile, Drapes. I drop my daughter off in the morning in high school. She's a freshman this past year. And just to see everybody, it's like a rainbow, man.
Really?
Everybody's kind of dipped in their own little gear and kind of have their own little, you know, twist to what they're wearing, and even backpacks and, you know, all these different things tell people's stories. So I love it.
How about this, Jay? 916, too much shoe talk, guys.
Yeah, they're completely wrong. I don't care about that. Because I'm going to tell you like this. All form or fashion, you cover your feet with something. No matter where at in the world, people still cover their feet with something. Shoes are a huge part of sports culture. No doubt about it. There are people today in sports, players, athletes, who are making decisions on, guess what? The shoe deal. What they're wearing. So that's completely wrong. Might want to dive into sports a little more. Now, if that's not your cup of tea, no doubt you can use that.
Okay, you can say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just like we're talking about, it's your cup of tea or what you wear. But to say that, I would challenge you. As a sports station, look around and look and see who are some of the biggest shows, some of the biggest people in sports, and they tell you completely different. It's part of our culture. It's part of the sports world. It's part of the sports movement. No doubt about it. People are making life decisions in sports on which shoe they wear.
What shoe they wear?
Come on, man. Get real. Be realistic. I don't want to have to challenge nobody like that, but that's just not true.
916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. That's how you can talk to us on the Drive Guys. Sacktown Sports 1140. Game 5 of the finals set to tip off. And, you know, before the timeout, before the break, we were talking about Tyrese Halliburton and might his legacy. And there's still so much time in his career. But right now, Tyrese is the hot dude. Everybody's on Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, he's Mr. Clutch and everything like that. If they lose this finals, does he just become, I don't want to say another dude, Jay, but just another really good player? Like, for instance, if Shea loses this finals, he's going to be in the MVP conversation next year. He's going to be at that level. Are the Tyrese and the Pacers going to be at this level again? This could affect how we think of Tyrese going forward, at least until he gets back there again.
No doubt. I mean, I think it affects all the players. It affects SGA, right? It affects how we look at him if he loses and or wins. I would say this, though, Drapes. I think Tyrese has kind of crossed the threshold in the form of he is a star. I'm not sure I'll take the argument of superstar, because superstar to everybody's opinion, just like shoes. I mean, excuse me, it's up for everybody's opinion. You know, there's a reason why you have so many different brands of clothing and shoes. To bring it back to that is because we're all not the same. We don't all see colors, shapes, feels, fabrics, all those different things the same. We are personalized in our opinions, in our thoughts, and our likes and our dislikes. And so the same thing with Tyrese Halliburton. I truly think most people recognize him as a star at this point. Team USA, kind of out there, is one of those faces, the baby face assassin type for the NBA. He is someone that, when you talk about it, even if you dislike him or like him, we know he was the most overrated player in the NBA according to the Athletic, although it was only 14 votes or something from his peers. I think he's crossed the threshold of being a star. I'm not sure he's a superstar, but I do think if he wins a championship, we start to have those conversations. If he loses, then I think he just kind of, fortifies himself as saying, like, he's probably not upper tier top 10, 15 guy, but he's definitely a top 25 guy.
Right. Now, if he wins, gets finals MVP, now we talking something. 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. Jay, let's get to the phone lines, man. Let's get Ben. Ben is hanging out on line 2. Ben, what's up, man? You're on with Drapes and Jay.
What's up, fellas? Hey, fantastic show so far. And Jay, that was a great way to merge both of those kind of topics right there. I'd say to blend it together, I would say Tyrese has definitely got a very high floor no matter what happens. But just to go back to the old conversation, I'd like to ask, I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s, and fashion, you got bullied for it back then. And I'm so glad that hopefully it's not that much of a thing right now. But with all these stars, especially in the MLB, with all the swag they got going on, the colorful gloves and stuff like that, you see that being a big thing for kids nowadays? Is the potential bullying going into, do you have the cool bat, cool glove kind of thing? Anyways, I'll take it off here. I love you guys. You guys have a great show. Have a good night.
All right, Ben, thanks so much. What do you think, Jay? That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, Ben, because we're no longer children. I kind of only base it off of what I see. I talked about earlier in the show, if you didn't have opportunity, I went out and umpired for some children this past weekend, youth ball, 14U and 13U. And I'll just say this, Ben, Drapes, as Whitey say, dear listener, those kids, man, they were dipped.
Were they?
They were dipped. I mean, New Balance right now is one of the hot things in baseball. You look at, especially turfs. They got a bunch of turfs like the Sails, which is a model of New Balance. Mm-hmm. A lot of the children, a lot of the kids had those on. Like I saw a bunch of those. Probably 75 to 80%, maybe even higher, had the New Balance. Just in all different flavors, colors. Mm-hmm. What is super, super hot right now in baseball is the oven mitt.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, man. Everybody had an oven mitt, which is, if you don't know what an oven mitt is, you don't watch baseball, totally understand. It is a mitt that goes over your hand, and it looks like a smaller version of an oven mitt, and it goes back, a little further past your wrist, and you strap it on around your wrist, and it is protection. So when you slide in head first, man, everybody had one of them.
Really?
All the kids had one of those. And then the other thing I saw quite a bit this past week was the shin guard, the protector, front foot for baseball.
Yeah.
I saw one of those. And then Boomba is like a huge product, a huge brand in baseball, softball world. Like, seen tons of that too. But Ben, to answer your question, in sports, it's definitely just and Drapes, you can speak to this because Nick has played hoop. When I go to the games, support my friends, coaches that are in youth, travel ball, high school, youth, style and fashion is at the top right now. It is definitely at the top. It's definitely wristbands everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a look.
You gotta, you
It's almost like NBA fits when you walking through the tunnel. Like you got,
for sure.
For
sure.
Interesting. WNBA, where you see those players too now? They accentuating their fashion now,
of course,
too.
Man. Asia Wilson Nike is everywhere. I'm in Chicago last week or whatever. Go to Nike right there in Michigan. And the first half of the store, bottom store, all Asia Wilson.
What?
The whole bottom half of the store. I think Nike on Chicago and on Michigan is 3 floors. I could be wrong, but I think it's 3 floors. The whole first half of the bottom floor, just an exhibit for Asia Wilson. Yeah. Dang. Just crazy, man. Fashion has definitely played a part in sports. Remember, Drapes, Taylor Rooks got her start. Remember, she was doing a fashion show for NBA TV.
Was she? It was
man. They was coming through the tunnel, and the whole show was just about your shoe game.
Yeah,
your gear, walking through the tunnel. There used to be I'm gonna look that up. There used to be a show just for that by NBA TV.
Interesting. 916-339-1140. NBA Finals Game 5 is underway. We'll get back to the phones as well. Final segment of the Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a 2-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra. Tickets are available now at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for American Energy, and oh my goodness, I'm born and raised here. I know it gets hot, but my goodness, we're already seeing 100-degree days. Listen to me. You do not want your system to conk out in the middle of June or July or August with one of those big 100-degree stretches. You want to make sure you're good all summer long. And my friends at American Energy Heating and Air can do that with a $24.50 tune-up right now. That's half price. And if you need a new system, $3,500 off, up to $3,500 off in rebates for qualified systems. They've been around since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call them right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke. Like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Giant Summer Sale and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the latest class of the A's Hall of Fame will be inducted before the A's play the Reds on September 13th. And what a group, including longtime A's broadcaster Monty Moore and the big three, Hudson, Mulder, and Zito. And when those guys pitch together in the A's rotation over a 5-year span, their combined records, 234 and 119. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Back here on the drive, guys. Sacktown Sports 1140. Kevin Gleason off all week. Whitey will be back next week on Tuesday. It'll be me and Jay holding it down this week. Off on Thursday for Juneteenth. But we do have a special guest host Wednesday and Friday. Maybe I'll reveal that tomorrow. Right now, the Pacers in a little bit of trouble, trailing by 5 early on. Rick Carlisle just called the timeout. OKC on top, 17-12, game 5 of the NBA Finals. Been talking about fashion today. Been talking about the Giants acquiring Rafael Devers. How about Shohei Ohtani tonight, too, Jay?
Getting
Back
a
on the
start,
mound.
the bump.
Yeah. First time since August 2023, August 23rd, 2023. Almost 2 years since the last time he pitched.
Why couldn't he throw against the Giants? Why has it got to be
Listen
against
to
the
you,
Padres?
man. Listen to you. Listen to you. No, how about that, though? Do you think, let me ask you this. Fantastic career.
Oh, yeah.
Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer.
Is Shohei a Hall of Famer already?
He might.
Come on, Drapes, already?
Nah, you need some more. But
yeah, come on.
Give me 3 more seasons.
3 more?
3-4 seasons. But
How
let
long
me.
has Shohei been in the league?
Oh, he looking it up. What do you got? 2 MVPs now? Something like that? One in each league, right?
Let's see. Let's see how many years he's been in the league.
Pull that.
But yes, you're right. You're right.
Come on, Jay. Put the dude in the hall already. He in Cooperstown already.
Gosh, he's already. And I think he's got 3 MVPs. Or not.
Yeah, 3 MVPs. Yep. Yeah,
right?
3 MVPs. 4-time All-Star.
He's got a ring last year.
Oh, he been in what? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8th season.
Dang,
Come on, Jay.
8 seasons?
And through his first 7, he got 3 MVPs. Think about that. Hall of Fame, bro.
Looking at it. 4-time All-Star, as you said. Man, what happened to other years? He didn't make it?
He finished second in MVP. One year he ran runner-up. Who is that to? Aaron Judge, probably? He's a Hall of Famer, bro. I know.
Man, it's tough.
It's tough. I mean,
Rookie of
he
the
only
year.
got 250 home runs so far. You know, it's got to be a magic number and all that. But pitching, too, you got to factor. You give him credit for that.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? Is it? But has it just not been long enough?
Right. That's the only thing.
But you could argue he's Gale Sayers. You could argue he's Terrell Davis.
Right.
For a quick amount of time.
Short period.
Yeah, he's a handful. I don't know. That's a great question.
That's a great one.
We might have to talk about that this week.
Yeah.
Is Shohei a Hall of Famer already?
I was going to ask you, do you think it's a bad idea for him to return to the mound? Or, because of the arm injury and returning from Tommy John and all that, is this jeopardizing an all-time great career maybe if he gets hurt again? And when do you shut that part of it down?
I think it's soon. If you would have asked me prior to me looking up, I would have said Shohei's been in the league for 6-7 years. 8 years is a little longer than I thought. I'm looking at his win-loss. He's 38-19, that's nothing. That's too small of a sample size.
Right. Too small.
Got a 3.01 ERA. For me, I would give it up as soon as it becomes too difficult to be a top guy. Like if I'm, going 10-12, 12-10,
then
I'm out. I'm focusing because he's too good of a hitter.
Right.
Especially for the Dodgers. Like he's with the Dodgers for the foreseeable future and probably for the rest of his career, unless he just falls off or has an injury and they choose to trade him. But he's a Dodger for life, the way I look at it, for the most part. The Dodgers will forever, or at least at this point, unless something completely changes, they're going to have deep pockets.
Right.
They don't necessarily need Shohei to pitch as we've seen last year.
They'll have,
year. They got enough ample arms to go get it and enough money to go get the ample arms. But if he is challenging himself, if he wants to be great at pitching, which it sounds like, from what I do know, then I'd go as long as my arm and my body tells me that I can be great at a high level and be Shohei that I've shown to be Shohei on both sides. Once I falter as a pitcher, I'm probably out on that quick. Because now with DH in the NL, as a lefty, we've seen Freddie Freeman is one of the best hitters in the game.
Yep.
He ain't the most athletic person, but he sure can hit.
He can rake, yeah.
I even go back to a lefty that I had prior, Adrian Gonzalez, because super rake. Wasn't the most athletic person. Don't really need Shohei to do anything besides hit in the future. I'd probably quit it once I'm, I've either accomplished what I want to accomplish if I'm Shohei, or if my body is telling me, it's going to be a little more than what I need it to be. Because we know as you get older, your body just changes.
Your body changes.
I'd
probably say I'd agree with that in terms of if the arm ain't there, if you ain't getting a result, or another injury.
Yeah.
It
requires surgery.
Yeah. I'd probably shut it down if I'm him, And to your point, how long can you do both at a high level? It's Shohei's what? 20, he's 30 already. What, maybe another 5 years? Like he ain't pitching till he's 40.
Nah, he better
what
not.
I mean? And so we might see this for another 2, 3, 4 years, something like that.
Well, they gave him so much money, he has to pitch. That's the only problem. Is like for the next couple of years, he's going to have to pitch.
Yeah.
Because they gave him too much money.
But
unless, it does come to the point to where he's physically unable or is just not capable to do it, then I think you got to ice him. Just go ahead and hit. He's such a potent hitter that he's going to, like they tripping. And I ain't counting no billionaires' pockets. It ain't like they need to recoup the money anyway. But he is way better than I ever thought he would be.
Damn.
I will say that.
Yeah, he's hitting close to 300, 25 home runs. That's leading the league. No, he's a tremendous two-way player. All right, Jay, we back at it tomorrow, man. Got our guy Marcus Dupree jumping on. We'll have other guests as well. What we got coming up next, Jay?
That'll be Infinity Sports Radio.
Coming up next, it's Infinity Sports Radio. Much more Kings talk tomorrow. We'll talk about Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Right now, OKC on top 22-14, 5:35 left to go in the first. For Jay Johnson, I'm Drapes, Kyle Draper. We'll see you next time. Tomorrow night on The Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports, 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he